Caught Busted. The Interrogation Room. A place where many criminals attempt to fool law enforcement to realize that they too will be caught busted on camera. In this episode of Caught Busted, meet America's worst couple, Joshua Ramsawmy and Amelia Bisoon. They were the perfect young couple, or so we thought. They were scammers, motivated by greed. The husband murdered for money and almost got away with it, if not for the hard-hitting interrogation of the Orlando police. He was caught busted on camera. In this episode, we show you the details inside a successful interrogation, demonstrating psychology and detective skills. The criminal suspects believe that the law enforcement agent believes their story until caught in a lie. Caught Busted. The cases are real, and the crimes are caught busted on camera.
Tuesday, I think, last week?
Yeah, we actually were sitting in here. We heard that because they sent out signal 43, which goes everywhere.
Yeah.
I guess the kid tried to run the cop over.
Yeah. As soon as I dropped my son to school, I turned the corner and I heard 3 shots, and I was like, what the hell is going on? He tried to hit my car, and I was like, all right. I followed him around the corner, and then
Good
I
for
guess,
you.
yeah, but it was a good thing because my neighbor, his name was Travis, he works for a Clay Police Department, so
Yeah.
those guys got there pretty quick.
Good, yeah. That was weird. So anyway.
All right, Josh. Well, we can explain to you what's going on. Obviously, I'm sure you want to know. Get a couple things we need to go over first before we do that.
Okay.
I'm going to put the recorder on, just so we don't miss anything.
Gotcha.
Don't put any words in your mouth. I always tell
That's
people.
fine, yeah.
People get scared. I'm like, you know what? I can't
Yeah,
put
well,
words
this
in your
morning
mouth.
I was like, what the heck's going on? Because my wife was like, listen, there's a car outside the house. My mother-in-law was like, there's a car outside the house. I'm like, all right, because then she worked for Chase too, so I guess her branch manager and somebody else got followed the other night after they left work. So we're all like skeptical, like what's going on? We don't know, because we don't live that far from her where she works. So
Okay.
I was like, everything going on. I was like, nah, this is not right.
Right. Well, let me turn this on. We'll go from there. Okay.
Okay.
All right. This is Detective Brian Ferrer of the Orlando Police Department. Today's date is Tuesday, July 26, 2018. The time is now approximately 1500 hours. This is an interview taking place at Orlando Police Headquarters in CID interview room number 4. Also present is Detective Michael Mareschi with the Orlando Police Department and a Joshua, just for the record, if you could just say your name.
Ramsawmy.
Full name and date of
Joshua
birth, please.
Ramsawmy, April 8th, 1990.
Thank you. Okay, Josh. Can I call you Josh?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. Can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you shall give in this case should be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay. All right, Josh. Just let me get a little bit of background information on you real quick. Do you live on Enka?
Yeah, I was supposed to go tomorrow to go change my license
Okay.
and renew my my handicap tag in my car.
So it's 1410 Enka, right?
Yeah, 1410 Anchor Way.
Okay. What's a good phone number for you?
407
Mm-hmm.
202
Mm-hmm.
6675.
I guess they got you in a blue Altima today when they make.
Yeah,
contact with you?
with the whole thing going on with my
Mhm.
wife, we're trying to switch cars up now. Like my mother-in-law is going to be using her car sometimes. Sometimes my wife will be using my mother-in-law's car. So yeah, because before my father-in-law used to use my car.
Okay. What kind of car do you normally drive?
Red 2000 or burgundy 2015 Nissan Altima.
Are you married
Yes,
to
Amelia.
Amelia,
Bisoon,
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
We actually just got married September of last year.
Hey, congratulations.
Thank you.
Any kids?
She has a kid, one kid.
Okay, so it's not yours, though.
Yeah, not my kid. I claim him as mine. I've known him since he was like maybe a year and a half,
All right.
or a year and 3 months to be exact.
All right. Let's do this. Listen, I'm gonna go over these with you. Okay. You understand? What I explain to people is this. There's always 2 sides to every story.
Mhm.
Okay. Obviously, we have one side of a story, and that's why you're here.
Yeah.
Make sense?
Mhm.
All right. And really, it's for your protection for us to talk to you. I want to make sure you understand them, okay? If you have any questions about anything that I read you, I'm going to need a verbal yes or no, okay? And if you have any questions about them, you let me know,
Gotcha.
and we'll go from there, okay?
Not a problem.
All right. So you have the right to remain silent. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay. Anything you say may be used against you in court. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay. You have the right to talk to a lawyer before and during questioning. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay. If you cannot afford a lawyer and want one will be provided for you before question without charge. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay. Has anyone threatened you or promised you anything to get you to talk to me?
No.
Okay. All right. All right. So, you work at Chase?
Yes.
How long have you worked at Chase?
May 7th was when I started. Yeah, May 7th. My
Okay.
wife's birthday, actually. It was my first day there.
So it's kind of a new job.
Yeah. I actually, long story short,
Okay.
I injured myself in December. I actually was putting my firearm away in the car, and I decided to land on a Zephyr Hills water ball cap and go off of my leg. So I was doing, when I moved back from New York last year,
Right.
I was doing a forklift mechanic with my cousins.
Okay.
Then after that, everything just stopped. I was home doing therapy, and then she was like, start working again. I'm like, all right. And then she sent me the rec to work for Chase.
You like working for Chase?
Oh, I love it.
Yeah?
One of the best jobs I've ever had.
What do you do at Chase?
Card collections, credit card
Oh,
collections.
boy.
Yeah. So I,
You get hung up on a lot.
yes and no, but with our company, we have a lot of I'd say options instead of going to I guess a collections agency or debt consolidation. So Chase in itself has different avenues, I'd say, to go ahead and help people in debt.
Okay. Any military service?
I was in boot camp for a little bit, and then I actually got out for medical. So
Okay. And you grew up in New York? Did I hear you say
I was
that?
born in Queens. From Queens, we moved to New Hampshire. From New Hampshire to here.
New Hampshire.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a little bit of a change.
Oh yeah, I loved it there though. The weather was I liked the land, the weather, but then after 9/11, the whole racial thing with my parents,
Yeah.
we moved down to Florida, and then I went up to New York for about a year, and then came back down in I think it was June of last year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where your parents from, if you don't mind me asking?
Parents are from Guyana.
Guyana?
Yeah.
So they kept on getting kind of
Yeah, it
confused
was-
for,
Yeah,
Ugh.
my mom used to work, and my mom works in the banking environment too, and my dad, he used to work for a printing company, and I guess it was just the whole racism thing. Everybody's like, you're brown, so you're a terrorist over there.
yeah, that's not cool. Okay. I don't know. Let me ask you this question. I'm going to throw this out to you. Why do you think you're sitting here right now?
I honestly have no idea.
No idea.
No idea.
Okay. Have you? Well, let me ask you a question. What was the last bank account that you opened?
Bank of America.
Okay. In whose name?
In my name and Julian's name.
Okay. Tell me about that.
My wife came home.
Who'd you go with?
I went by myself.
By yourself?
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Which
actually went
branch
to
did you go to?
The Ocoee branch.
Do you remember when that was?
I can't honestly remember.
This month? Last month?
No. It wasn't. It was probably a couple months. Trying to think. I think it was before I started working for Chase. I think.
Okay. So, make sure I understand. Now, your wife is Amelia.
Mm-hmm.
Bisoon is her last
Bisoon,
name, right?
yes.
Okay.
She hasn't
And-
changed her last name as yet.
Okay. And she lives with you over there on Inca?
Correct. I put my previous address, which was 2533 Great Birch Drive.
Are you still associated with that address at all?
Yeah, well, that's my parents' house.
Do you still get mail there?
Yeah. I know I had my medical bills. Well, that's why I'm trying to change everything over
Sure.
now on Friday. Well, I was supposed to go tomorrow because, my medical bills from the hospital, insurance, I got to change over. I have to change over, all my handicap stuff. So all my therapy and everything, all my bills were going there. So I was like,
That can get expensive. I would think.
oh my God, yeah.
You have insurance?
Yeah, I have
And
insurance.
Did it cover it all?
Yeah, for the most part. It was I think 2,000 something out of pocket I'd have to pay. But I know that I was on my wife's insurance at the time, thank God.
But for a while, you weren't working because of that?
Yeah, I wasn't working.
How long were you not working for?
December to May. December to May. But my cousins are nice enough because I used to work for them.
Mm-hmm.
They were paying me, you know, for a little.
Oh, so they kept on paying you?
Yeah, they paid me for a little while.
So, the account that you opened, it was a checking account?
Yeah, I think it was a checking account.
Did you get any checks?
Yeah, I think we got some checks.
Did you get a debit card?
Yeah, I had a debit card.
Mm-hmm.
I think she has her own Chase account. I don't know if she added me to both. I think she did. And then her and her dad have a TD account. I think it is. TD or Regions, one or the other.
Why do you think that?
I have no idea.
No, I'm just saying, I mean, did you... Well, okay, so, all right, let's walk through that a little bit. So you close the account. You go to Lake Mary and you close the account.
Yeah. Well, I told them, one, I didn't feel comfortable keeping the money there because they were trying to pressure me into opening an account for Julian for school. Because that money, I think there should be, from what I understand, money in the TD account with her and her dad to go ahead and pay for Julian's schooling next year.
Mm-hmm.
So, and they were like telling me, you know, you should invest in this and invest in that.
So they're trying to get you invested.
It is cold in here.
Jeez, it was so cold I fell asleep in here. I woke up and the lights were off and I was like, this has to be a sign.
Yeah. Okay. And what month was it that you closed it?
That was, let's see, June, I think.
Was it June?
Yeah, maybe. Let me see. The ending of May or early June, one or the other.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what she was doing. They said, I guess her manager was like, "Oh, that person's no longer gonna be there, or gonna be gone for the week or something like that." So that's from what I understand. Let me see, from here. I'm trying to think. And I just know that corporate security was talking to her at the branch, and that was it. I mean, I really didn't hear back anything. I know she always goes sometimes they have her going to different branches. And I know it's like Winter Park. I think there was another one that like somewhere by Millennium. I think she went to back to Americana again, back to Chase at Pine Hills. But then she's restricted too because my sister works for Chase and my mom works for Chase. So.
Now, this Gerald guy, does Amelia know any of his other family members or anything like that?
From what I understand, I think she knows his grandson, and I think she knows. I don't know if she knows. I know she was saying how the guy was telling her that his son took a whole bunch of money from him back in the day, and he doesn't have like a proper living situation or something like that.
Okay. So you think she knows, Amelia knows your grandson?
The grandson, yeah.
Do you know how she knows him?
I think she actually opened an account for him, from what I understand.
All right, so I just want to make sure I understand. So once corporate security investigator May, did anything else? I mean, did the police ever get called or anything like that about it?
No, the only thing I know about police was, like I said, I guess two people from their branch home, and the police came to their job the other day, but that was it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she doesn't. I just want to make sure. There was nothing else came up recently?
Not that I know of. I remember something, she was saying how somebody had called her from another branch, regarding the same old guy. Somebody was questioning.
Do you know Gerald?
No, I don't know him.
Do you know where he lives?
No.
You ever been to his house?
No.
That phone number you gave us, is that the only phone that you use?
Yeah.
No other phone numbers?
Mm-mm.
Did you ever use Amelia's phone?
Maybe once in a while, if that.
When was the last time you used Amelia's phone?
I have no idea. We don't really, I just use each other's phones.
Okay. Do you have Facebook?
Yeah, I actually deactivated it because I was just like tired of social media.
It gets that way sometimes.
Yeah.
When did you deactivate it?
I haven't. I know it was set to like 7 days or something like that to come back on and come back off. I know I have Facebook Messenger.
You do have Facebook Messenger?
Yeah.
What's your name on Facebook?
It's same thing, Joshua Ramsawmy.
Do you know Gerald's grandson?
No.
Do you know anybody in Gerald's family?
Mm-mm. All I know is that I know Amelia said she had to drop. I think his grandson home one day because he took an Uber to
Mhm.
open the account or something like that. But I think I was at work
Okay.
when she told me that.
Do you work at Chase?
Yeah.
What's the address at Chase that you work at?
It's 600 International Parkway, I think. Either 600, no, 550 is the other Chase, but 600. 600 International Parkway.
What's your supervisor's name?
Well, we just got assigned our new, I guess, our team lead. So her name is Becky Pittman.
Mm-hmm.
Another one is named Kamisha Tucker.
Kamisha?
Yeah.
What are your hours at work?
12 to 9. And then before that, it was 10 to 7.
When did it change?
Oh, let's see, this Sunday. A week ago.
Changed a week ago?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So 10 at night to 7, 10 in the morning to 7 at night?
Yeah. 10 to 7, that was from May to June or July 13th, I think. I don't know the exact. I know that it was been a week since I'm 12 to 9 now.
What are your days off?
Right now, Friday, Saturday.
When did
Before
they
it
change?
was Saturday, Sunday. Then they changed when my schedule from 12 to 9 changed.
So it's nice having that weekday off.
Yeah.
I like having the weekday off.
Well, I like the weekday off because I want to go to therapy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so-
Okay. Okay. Do you own a farm?
I did. I actually bought one last week, Monday. And that was a big argument between me and Amelia.
Okay. Can you tell me about it?
I actually bought it last week, I think Monday it was. Then that whole thing happened with the Koi PD Tuesday, and she started bitching at me. She's like, why the fuck, you're not a hero, this, that, and the third. And I was like, for me, I've always had a gun. I've had a Smith & Wesson, always had a gun.
Mm-hmm.
And then after this whole situation, of course, Orange County had the gun. So I was like, we had a thunderstorm. I think it was like Sunday. And I was like, we saw a car pull up in the yard, or I did. And I was like, I don't know who it is. I put the light on, the car drove away, so I'm like, okay, fine. And I was like, you know, things are getting a little crazy where we live. We need some type of protection in the house. And then she started bitching at me, and I'm like, oh my God. She was like, oh, what if that happens to you? What if you kill yourself again or injure yourself again? And I'm like, got into an argument, and I was like, fuck it. I was like, all right. And then I left the house. She was all bitching at me, this, that, and the third. I'm like, okay, I went back with my parents. And then, where did I go? Got into an argument. I know I ended up at Alchemy Hookah Lounge around like 11:30 that night. That was on Tuesday. I took a drive to Daytona, and I actually chucked the fucking gun over the damn bridge. I was like, fuck it. And she was like, what the hell did you do?
Okay, which bridge in Daytona did you throw the gun off of?
On International, was it International Speedway or Parkway?
Did you pull over?
No, I was actually parked. I walked. I was just trying to clear my head, and I was just had like a relapse of what happened on my leg, and I was like, fuck this, and I just threw the gun.
What time is that at?
Probably like 3 o'clock in the morning. 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning.
What'd you buy?
It was a Taurus. Another Taurus.
Where'd you get it from?
It's a pawn shop in Winter Garden. I actually was gonna buy another gun from there before. One of my buddies worked there. His name is Doug, but he was on vacation.
Is it like just past like the I think the expressway?
Yeah,
I think I know what
it's
you're
Cash. I think it's called Cash Stop Pawn. And I bought my surround sound system from them before.
What did set you back? How much did it cost
Oh,
you?
it was like $250.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't that bad.
It wasn't that much to throw it
Did
off
you
the
pay
bridge.
cash?
Yeah, I paid cash for it.
Did you have to do any paperwork when you buy that like that?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a concealed weapons permit?
Yeah. And I do. I actually have. I think I have the paperwork at home for it.
You threw it off the overpass. Right? Am I understanding that right?
Yeah.
Bridge, overpass? Okay. So you went to Daytona. What time did you get back from Daytona?
Probably like 5:30 in the morning. I actually went back to Daytona the other night. We got into an argument.
You went back the other night?
Yeah.
Where do you go in Daytona? Why do you keep going to Daytona?
I back in the day when I used to have arguments with my parents and stuff, I just go for a drive, long drive. Sometimes, I mean, shit, hell, I know I remember when I was younger, I used to drive from 50 from east all the way west. And just, for me, I didn't want to be home because I was like, I don't want to argue with her and have another argument. Julian's there, her parents are there. I'm like, just wanted to save an argument. And what was it? I think it was Tuesday? What's the day? Thursday?
It's Thursday.
Tuesday I went back to Daytona. I went by the they have like an arcade pier where Joe's Crab Shack is area, just for a walk. Then it started pouring. I came back home.
Were you alone when you went to Daytona?
Yeah, one of my coworkers is actually gonna come with me. His name is Ricky.
Which time? The first time or the second time?
The second time. Damn, I wish I had a jacket.
So, I just, so maybe I understand. So you have the fight with Amelia
Yeah,
about the gun.
yeah, on Tuesday.
Okay.
Cause I was with Orange County for like, I don't know, 2 hours, 3 hours, and then the news reporters got my number, and I'm like, oh my god. I told her about that, and she was like, oh, what if they try to find you? What if these people? Because I had somebody come up to me that day too and be like, oh, you got so and so arrested. I said, no, I didn't. They're like, you sure? I'm like, yeah, I'm sure. I didn't get anybody arrested. And they were like, how? Oh, you need to watch out. I'm like, okay. I actually told the same cop, Travis, yesterday. I was like, somebody said something to me. He was like, people are gonna talk, and I was like, I know how it is.
So, when you have the fight, were you supposed to go to work that night?
Yeah, I actually called out of work while I was there with Orange County.
Okay. So walk me through that. So you get to the fight. You said you went. Where's the first place that you went after that?
I was home.
Mm-hmm.
I left. I was by I know I went to my cousin's shop. I can't remember if that was before or after we fought. And then I went back to my parents' house. And I was like, all right. I came back home. And I was like,
What time did you come back home?
I don't remember.
So you went back to your house.
Mm-hmm.
So-
But she was at work. She was
Okay.
at work. So I was like, that's fine.
Okay. Then where?
I think that was around like 4 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
I left the house again.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was just driving around. I was trying to figure out what to do. My buddy was in New York, so I was like, I can't call him. And then I ended up, where did I go? I can't remember what I did. And I was just I drove around for a while,
Mhm.
and then around like 11:30, I ended up going to Alchemy Hookah Lounge.
Where's that at?
That is on Kirkman. I don't know if you know where Colombian Burger is?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right there.
Who'd
And
you
that's
see
how
it?
Amelia knew I was there, because a buddy of mine had a Snapchat video, and then the last car was my car.
Okay. Who did you see there that you knew?
His name was Brandon. I don't remember his last name.
Got a phone number for him or anything?
Yeah, his phone number is actually in my
In
phone.
your phone?
Yeah.
Under branded?
hmm
Okay. So how long would you say you were at the hookah lounge for?
Maybe an hour, if that.
Did you drink anything?
No, didn't drink anything. I just drank water. That was it. And then from
After
there,
you went there, where did you go?
I jumped on I-4 and went to Daytona.
Did you have your phone with you?
Yeah.
Was it on?
Nah,
Why not?
because my wife was gonna call me. She always likes to check on my iPhone.
Okay. So you jumped on
Because
I-4.
I called her cousins around like, I think it was like 11 something, to see if they had spoken to her. Because I called her and she didn't answer, so I was like, okay. And then I was like, I called them, I was like, yeah, where Amelia is. And she's like, nah. And then I was like, okay. 'Cause I didn't want to, they knew we were fighting because I think she went out with them afterwards.
Because you called your cousin. You called her cousins looking for Amelia?
Yeah, because I didn't hear, I called her phone actually, and she didn't answer, and I know we were all supposed to go out to, I think, go play golf or something like that.
When?
That same night. And then I know Amelia went out with them.
Okay. So you didn't want to talk to her, but you called her.
Yeah, I called her just to see what she was doing, because I was like, we're still fighting. I was like, honestly, I wanted to go back home. But she didn't answer, and then called my cousins, and then I was like, all right, maybe she's out doing something. And I was like, all right, I'll go to Alchemy. And it was right before I went to Alchemy is when I called her.
Mm-hmm.
And
Did
then
you
I
talk to
told
her?
No, I didn't get to talk to her. She
So
didn't
you
answer.
wanted to go back home?
Yeah,
Okay. Why didn't you?
because I didn't want to argue again. Things have been up and down with us lately.
I guess that's where I get a little lost. So if you didn't want to argue, why'd you call her?
I just, usually when we argue, I'll call her, see how she's doing, or see if everything's okay.
So you didn't want to argue, but you called her.
Yeah.
Okay. You wanted to go home. And
But shit.
so then you turned
3 weeks ago.
your phone off after that.
Yeah. My phone was actually off for the majority of the day.
So up until, all right, so again, I just want to make sure I understand. This is
Mhm.
I'm going to be on the same page with you. Okay, so you get into this argument, you leave, you're pissed off enough that you don't go home.
Yeah.
But you don't go to Daytona right away. You're in town for a little bit. You drive around. For a little bit, you can't remember where you're at.
Yeah, I mean, I just drove around.
Okay. And your phone was off then?
Yeah.
The whole time?
The whole time.
So what time do you say you left the house?
Around, like, I think it was like 3. Between 3:30 4, something like that. Around there.
And there'll be no activity on your phone whatsoever. No text messages, no nothing.
No,
Okay.
nothing.
All right. At some point in time, you have to turn it back on so you can call her.
Yeah.
Was
That was around 11.
Was there any voicemails or text messages from her when you turned your phone back on?
I texted her. I was like, "Yo," and I think I texted her hello.
Hello, like with the question mark, like you're trying to talk to her?
Yeah. Because I know I called her, and she didn't pick up, and I texted her yo. I texted her hello, and that's when I got all the text messages in from her cousin. So
What were they
let's
saying?
go out somewhere, go hang out. And I'm like, I don't want to. I wanted to resolve an issue with her, but then when we go out, her cousins always are like, "Oh, what'd you do to Josh?" Or what
Did you respond to them?
No, well, that's when I called them. I was like, "Hey, did you go out with, or did you get a hold of Amelia?" And they said, "No, not yet." From what I understand, yeah.
Hmm. Then you went to Daytona, and you took this gun, and you threw it off the overpass?
Yeah.
Was it all in one piece?
Yeah. All in one piece.
What caliber is that gun?
I think it was a 9mm.
What kind of ammunition did you put in it?
I didn't have any ammunition inside of it.
You didn't have any ammunition inside of it?
No.
Did you buy ammunition for it when you bought it?
No.
Okay. Well, I just get a little confused. So, explain to me your reasoning again as to why you threw this gun off this pier.
I had a real,
Or
I guess
overpass.
a relapse of what happened to me, and I was like, some shit happens again by accident. Fuck my life up again.
But it's not loaded.
Yeah, it wasn't loaded.
Okay.
It went into water?
Yeah.
Okay, so it was on a bridge over water, it wasn't just
Yeah,
some officer
yeah.
overpass, okay.
I think that's the bridge right before you get to the Daytona Beach.
Yeah, you get off like, what is it, 75 on International, or 80, what is it?
95,
95, by the Speedway there,
Mhm.
and just keep going, and,
Yeah,
okay, I
exactly.
know what you're talking about.
I guess this is where I get a little concerned. Well, my thing is, you guys are kind of hurting for money, sounds like. I mean, you're working now, but you're
Yeah, I'm
hurting for
working
money.
now, so things
So
are
you spent
just-
$250 in cash on this gun.
Yeah.
It's a pawn shop.
Mhm.
Pawn shops are pretty good. I mean, usually you can go back and pawn it
Yeah,
back,
but
right?
I was like, at that very moment, I was like, anything could fucking happen, and I'm like,
But it's not loaded.
it wasn't loaded. Yeah.
So right down there, you got basically a paperweight.
Yeah.
So it's not dangerous to you at that point in time.
Mhm. But for me, mentality-wise, I wasn't thinking like that. I just threw it. And then I mean, it's fucking. I told my sister what I did. She was like, "Are you dumb? Are you stupid?"
Which sister?
Rachel.
Where's she at?
She should be at work too.
Does she live here?
She lives at 2533 Reaper Drive as well.
When did you tell her you threw this gun?
What did I tell her? 2 days ago?
What made you tell her 2 days ago?
No, she was asking, what happened with me and Amelia, like, why are we arguing so much? Then Amelia, I guess she told my dad, like, Amelia was concerned about me, she didn't know what was going on. And then I know she talked to my sister and was like, Josh and I are arguing. And I know she told her, we've just been fighting a lot lately. Like, we're actually supposed to go on a cruise on Saturday for a week.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, we're contemplating that here and back and forth. And I was like, maybe that'll help our relationship because we've been arguing a lot lately. And mainly because it was just like stuff around the house, not working for so long and stuff like that. So,
I guess I'm just kind of, again, I'm trying to piece everything together, and I keep getting confused. Have you, again, make sure I understand you right, you don't know anybody in Gerald's family?
No.
Okay. Are we going to see any phone records of you contacting anybody in Gerald's family?
No, not that I know of.
Is it, well, again, let's see, is it possible? Because if it is, we
Yeah.
can talk about it.
I mean,
And
unless
I-
Amelia used my phone, then no.
So if it was Amelia used your phone,
Yeah,
why would she have to use your phone to contact them?
I have no idea. Which I know she had my phone for a little bit on Saturday. I mean, sometimes. I mean, I'll leave my phone inside the house while I do yard work or work on my car.
But if she had access to her phone?
Yes. she
Okay,
would
so,
have.
so I guess I'm trying to, now again, is this something where we want to say that, do we want to, Josh, listen,
Mhm.
we're here for something very, very serious, okay?
Okay.
And you have to understand something, okay?
Mhm.
Your answers just aren't making any sense, all right? We've been doing this for a little bit. We know, we've been doing this for a while, okay?
Okay.
You seem like a very good guy. You know, the little bit I'm talking to you, you're respectful and you know, you're nice. And you got to understand, sometimes we have more answers than you know.
Yeah.
All right? We've asked you questions to see where you're at,
Mhm.
okay? If there's anything that you think we need to know, I mean, now's the time to tell us, okay? There's probably a little bit more to this story. The whole thing, $50,000 is a lot of money,
Yeah.
okay? And, you know, you have to be wondering why I'm asking about that. See, that's the funny thing. You haven't asked me yet. Like, why am I asking about that, right? You know, there's a lot going on here, okay?
Okay.
And I need to understand from you
Mhm.
where you were at, okay, in this whole thing. And you gotta understand that right now, you being honest with us
Mhm.
is the best thing in the world, okay? We're your best friends here, okay?
Okay.
You have to be able to explain your actions and what you did. And if we can't understand that, then it looks really bad,
Yeah.
okay? Let's walk through this a little bit, okay?
Mhm.
What are we missing?
Nothing that I know of. I mean, told you guys where I was, what I was doing. I mean, you could check our phone records too. We've been fighting for a long
Can you,
time.
well, explain this to me, okay?
Mhm.
How is it that you wound up at Cynthia's house, Cynthia's apartment over on Jefferson? Because I have eyewitnesses that put you there.
That I ended up there.
You're very, listen, let's, you have kind of a distinct look. You
Mhm.
understand what I'm saying? And you have a distinct car. Well, not a distinct car, I should take that back. But I think it's telling that you said it was maroon, all right? Because that's, an eyewitness describes it as a maroon Nissan Altima with a guy that's your height, hair parted, 2 earrings, everything. You're there, okay? I have no question about that, all right? So what we're trying to understand is why you were there. Why were you at Cynthia's place? And again,
I was never at her place.
okay. All right.
And I don't even know where she, like I said, I don't know anything about Gerald's family. Nothing.
And you were never at his house either.
No.
You understand we have the notarized document, right?
Mhm.
You know we were there when you went there with the notary. We have that document.
Yeah, well, I never physically met him.
Okay, you were in his house. You understand what I'm saying?
Mhm. But Cynthia, I was never at her house.
Listen to me. You have to understand something, okay?
Mhm.
I'm sure you're probably scared right now, all right? Because you're not somebody that gets in trouble,
Yeah.
right? Okay? You have to understand, like I said, there's 2 sides to every story, all right? The eyewitness has no reason to lie,
Correct.
okay? And there's no point in that, okay? So, you were there. Well, I need to know why you were there. You understand what I'm saying? If it was some innocent reason, I need to know. But I need to know why. So, why did you go there? Did you go there to tell them that you were going to pay him back?
No, okay. Can we clear this whole thing out?
What's up?
Okay. So, Amelia was freaking out.
Mm-hmm.
Long story short, I did chuck my gun over the bridge.
Mm-hmm.
Simple as that.
Okay. Okay. Tell me about
So-
that.
She sent somebody, I don't know who she sent, to go to either talk to them. I don't know if it was the same day or same night, but after that I went to Alchemy and talked,
Who did she send? Wait a minute. Hold on. So you were there. Was
Yeah.
somebody else with you?
No, I was by myself.
So after you left, she sent somebody else over there? Is that
I
what
don't,
you're
I
telling
don't
me?
know, because I know she was saying before, like, oh,
What day were you there?
that was on Tuesday. I went there at 3:30 on Tuesday to talk to her.
3:30 in the afternoon.
Or 4 o'clock.
And how long did you stay for?
I mean, maybe. I honestly don't remember.
It was quite a period of time.
Yeah.
Why were you there so long?
Just to talk to her, just to see how.
Did you go inside?
Yeah, I actually sat down and talked to her,
Mm-hmm.
and
Who's her?
to the lady, Cynthia.
Was anybody else in the house?
I think the same kid, Sean.
And how did the conversation go?
And I told her I found out about it. I talked to her, and then I guess I left. Maybe, I don't know, right before I went to 11 something, right before I went to Alchemy,
Mm-hmm.
and from what I understand, that was it.
So, if I'm understanding you right, you're saying Amelia is the one that talked to somebody to take
Mhm.
care of them?
Yeah, and I don't
Why?
know. I have no idea.
Well, I mean, how do you know that?
Well, there was a kid that came to our house.
What's his name?
Jay something. I don't know
Mhm.
his phone. I've seen him once at my house, and that was it. And that was
Mhm.
for Amelia's birthday party.
Okay.
And she told me, oh, how she's gonna talk to him to talk to her, to stay away from her. And I was like, it's not making sense, Like, what's going on or whatever. And then I went there, talked to the lady, talked to her son,
How do we find this guy?
find who.
This person that she talked to.
Oh, how do you find
Yeah.
him? I can give you. I think I have his phone number.
Okay. You
It's
have
some
his
guy
phone
that.
number?
It's some. I know his name is Jay Prasad or something like that.
Okay. And
Because
okay,
he
well,
said.
explain this to me. How does this go? Okay, so I'm trying to understand this. So Amelia's so scared about this and
Mhm.
worried about this, and you explain to me. So who kept on calling her and wouldn't leave her alone?
I think it was the same Cynthia lady. I didn't ask any questions. She said, "Oh, somebody keeps calling me." She said one of Gerald's families. I said, "Okay, that's
Mhm.
fine. Maybe it's Gerald's son, because
Mhm.
Gerald's son stole money from her
I heard about
before."
that. Yeah.
And I was like, "Okay, fine." But then, I think then some kid came to our house like 11 o'clock at night, and I was like, "What's going on?" And I know she gave him some money or something like that. And then he texted me about money, and I'm like, "What are you talking?"
Mm-hmm. She gave him $10,000 to what?
I have no idea. And from my
What do
understanding,
you think she gave him $10,000 for?
to kill him or something. I don't know. I have no idea.
When did you find out about this? Before?
Yeah, I think it was Saturday or Sunday.
The Saturday or Sunday before you went over there on Tuesday?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Is that the only time you went to that apartment, or had you gone over there once before that?
No, I had passed by before that.
Why?
I go to HID Pro down the street. But
Did you go over there and... So you drove by once before.
mm-hmm.
In what car?
The same car,
Which one, the red or the blue one?
the red car.
And when you went over there that night, on that Tuesday night, were you in your car?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And how did you get there?
What do you mean?
Well, how did you get... Where were you coming from? Were you coming from your house?
Mm-hmm.
So how did you get from your house to Cynthia's house? What route did you take?
I take Amelia Street. I think it was Amelia Street. Over there.
Did you go... Well, that's what I'm trying to figure out. From like Ocoee, where you are, to get to Orlando, did you 408, Colonial, Silver Star?
No, I was on. What did I use? I used 50th. Yeah, I used 50 to Amelia Street. And I took Amelia Street and I cut through where HID Pro was.
Well, 50 and Amelia don't cross.
No. Oh, Tampa Avenue. That's what it was.
Oh, okay.
Tampa Avenue.
50 to Tampa,
Mm-hmm.
and then down?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
And then when I came back from Daytona that night.
How did you, when you got to the apartment, Did you knock on the door?
Yeah, I just knocked on the door.
Okay. And they opened it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And I don't know. All right. So you go to hookah, and then you go to Daytona, and then you come back home.
Yeah.
Again, I'm just understanding. I guess my question is, why were you there so long again? I mean, what was
Where?
You're at Cynthia's house for a very long time.
I was there, and I was just talking to her, explaining to her, like, you know.
What did she say to you about that?
She was like, you know, it's upsetting because her brother stole money from Gerald, and long story short, how that she was just like, oh, how Gerald doesn't trust anybody, and I told her that, you know, and I said, okay, that's fine, and then I mean, she was talking to me for a while about everything, like my
Was Sean
culture.
talking to you too?
Yeah, once in a while he was just saying how it was like how he's trying to find a job, and he used to be a cashier or something like that from where they.
Okay. Well, how did you know when you left?
When the
Joshua,
money would
listen to
come.
me. Listen to me. Again, I'm looking at you. I see you're nervous, and I see.
Cold.
Yeah, I know, I'm cold too, but I can see, you know, there's some stuff. All right. I don't think you're somebody that is. I don't think you have a. I'm gonna say it, like a mean bone or anything like that. You seem like a very nice, soft-spoken kind of guy, and I'm sure that there's probably some stuff that's eating at you. You know, and some of the stuff that you want to get off your chest. I mean, you talked to your sister a couple of days ago. There's some stuff. Listen, Joshua, this isn't going away. Okay. Some of the stuff you said here, you know, it gives us a lot of pause. All right. Remember, I told you that if there's a reason, if there's a reason why, if you were scared and you did something that you know was a mistake and you probably should have done, then that's something we need to know, because that explains a lot. All right. Right now, you know, I just, if you explain why, that goes so far. You understand what I'm saying? It goes so far, and it helps people understand where you were. If you were in a bad place and bad, you know, frame of mind, that changes the ball game.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? So that's why, you know, I mean, we need to hear from you, like, you know, where you were when you did this. Okay? What happened?
When I was there at the house.
I know. But listen, we know, listen. Okay? Gotta understand something. Let's get beyond it, okay? I don't think there's a question that Amelia she didn't call anybody, she didn't pay anybody. Right? I'll figure that out in 3 seconds.
She did.
Okay?
I'm telling you, she did.
Right.
She
Okay.
paid it. She said.
Listen to me. Listen to me. Not listen to what we just heard here now. We have to understand it from you, okay? I'm telling you right now. We talked to Amelia,
Mm-hmm.
all right? So we know a lot more than you think we know. And again, if we can hear it from you, and we can go and say, look, he didn't. This. If it's something that got out of hand versus something that you planned, that's a whole different ballgame. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
If you plan this out, that's a bad thing. But if it got out of hand, if you went back just to try and talk, and it got out of hand, that's a whole different ballgame. You understand what I mean? Okay? That changes everything. But I don't know that until I hear it from you.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, this all I know is what we have. Like I said, this isn't going to go away. And this is going to be something that's going to eat at you. It's going to eat at you until we get it out. I'll tell you right now, let's not go back. We're going to figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
Now's your time to say, you know what, this got out of hand. I'm sorry. You understand what I'm saying? Remorse goes a long, long way. Let's work through this.
I just don't want to get nobody else in trouble.
Okay.
That's not the issue here.
I mean, if you
Because
love
I'm
Amelia,
scared.
listen, if you love Amelia, you're going to put her under the bus? You don't want to do that, do you?
I'm just scared for everybody
I
else.
know you're
that's-
scared. I know you're scared.
That's the problem right now.
Who's
My
gonna get in
family,
trouble?
her
Right.
family.
But at the end of the day, you have to look and say, you know, you made the right decision, you did the right thing. Like you said, you don't want to get anybody else in trouble. Let's not lump anybody else in this. Doesn't need to be lumped into this.
I didn't throw the gun away.
Okay, tell me.
I left there
Mhm.
at maybe 10 something.
Mm-hmm.
But before I left,
Mm-hmm.
the same guy that Amelia, I guess Amelia paid him. He messaged me on Snapchat, oh, there's $9,000, $10,000 more. And I was like, maybe he's trying, at first I thought it was maybe he's trying to sell drugs or something to get the money back.
Mm-hmm.
Simple. And the same guy came up to my car.
Mm-hmm.
He said, what are you doing? I said, I wanted to talk to her to get the money back. And he's like, oh, Amelia, or Jay sent me here. I'm like, sent you here for what? And he was like, he had a gun to my head. And he said, he said, I know you have a gun. Give me your gun and leave. I left. I went to Alchemy. I didn't throw the gun over the pier. He had the gun. I went back to Alchemy. I drove to Daytona. Came back home at like 5:30 in the morning. And that was it.
Josh, why did you put a gun in your head and take your gun?
I don't know. All I know is Amelia paid them $10,000.
To put a gun to your head and take your gun?
I don't know why she paid them. I don't even know why.
Well, before you said you thought they paid him to shut her up, is what you told
yeah,
me.
that's
So
why
now you're saying you don't know.
that could have been.
So why
To
would they have?
shut her up.
Okay, so why would they have to come to you, right? Come to
I don't
you
know. I
and
guess
put
they
a gun in your
figured
head and take your gun.
figured they weren't like they figured that I wasn't gonna be there or go talk to her or something. From what I
Wait,
understand.
Josh. You know you're making this hole that much bigger. You know that. That doesn't make any sense to anybody, Josh. All right? It just doesn't. No. Okay? I mean, how would these people know where to find you, and then all of a sudden they found you and took your gun? To do what? To frame you?
I mean, you could call the kid. I
What
have
was the
his
kid
number
gonna
for
say?
her. He said he had people to go ahead and shut her up or something like that.
Doesn't it make more sense? You know, no. It just doesn't make any sense. You know who throws a gun over a bridge? And that's what I really think happened to this thing. That you threw the gun over the bridge. We know you went to Daytona because we got the receipt and everything else that you went to Daytona. We know you got gas over there.
Mhm.
All right? What makes more sense is, well, I mean, you threw a gun because you used it.
No.
Yes. Josh, listen to me. Listen. Again, I think we're trying to figure out the why right now. That's about all we're trying to figure out, okay? We're not trying to figure out the who. We're trying to figure out the why. And I told you, this is your time. We can't sit here forever, you know, and think, this is your time to tell us why. And like I said, a panic is different than I went over there and I wanted to do it. You had every reason to do this. Okay? Not somebody else. You. Okay? When people come in here and tell us, oh, I was driving around for a little while and I can't remember where I went, or I don't, you know, that we know, I know exactly what's going on there, okay? And for you not to tell us that you went to that apartment, there's a reason why, all right? So again, this is not to figure out who, it's to figure out why. And this is your time. This is you. This is you, not us. Like I said, this is eating at you. And it's going to keep eating at you. It's never going to stop. Until you make it stop. You understand what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And the way you make it stop is we got to get it out. apartment when you went back? You went back there. When did you go back?
I went there at 3, between 3:30 and 4.
When you went back the second time before you went home, what happened that time?
I didn't go back.
Okay.
I'm telling you, I didn't go back.
Josh, here's the thing, and this is what I would tell you. You know, despite whatever troubles you got, I can tell that you love your wife, and the prospect of her getting into trouble or possibly going to jail for stealing this money was weighing on you heavily, and you went over there because of that love, you know, because you wanted to at least talk them out of it. Okay, and in fact, we've talked to Amelia already. And we asked her, who's the most important person in Josh's life? And she said, I would assume it's me. And I said, he's not going to do or say anything that's going to jeopardize your future, right? And she goes, I wouldn't think so. So when I asked Amelia who's the most important person in her life, what do you think she said?
Me.
Yeah. And she's over there, and I wasn't bullshit. I just showed, that text message I showed Brian, she's spilling it. Because she's looking at the prospect of never seeing her son again except for through bars. She knows we have all this stuff where the theft goes and all these different phone calls and whatnot. But she's over there saying that you killed these people. You're over here saying that she paid somebody to kill these people.
Yes.
So my thing is that
I'll tell you right now, straight up. I was there. My gun was taken from me by some black guy that said he knows Jay. Amelia gave him $10,000. I thought the money was going to go get paid as far as, okay, this is going to get paid. Maybe they're buying drugs or something.
So the money, presumably this $10,000 would have come out of the TD account.
No, that was cash she had at home.
How did she have $10,000 cash?
From what I brought home.
Okay. So the thing is, what I'm trying to wrap my head around is, one of you is a really awful person. You know, someone is letting their spouse go to prison for the rest of their life for something that they did. Is it you or her?
I didn't. I don't have a bone in me to kill anybody.
Okay, and the whole.
I just went there.
You
to
knew
talk
enough.
To her.
You knew enough, Josh, to lie to us about the gun.
Mm-hmm.
You knew that was the very first thing. We didn't even solicit that.
Yeah.
You knew I've got to lie to these guys about that gun and say it was empty and I threw it in the bridge over in Daytona Beach. You knew that you had to tell that lie. That was the very first lie you told us. You have the motivation. Are you going to? And again, are people going to kill people for $10,000?
I don't know.
Let me ask you this.
I can even listen.
I don't know.
I can tell you
I'm
where we
confused as to the whole
gave this
thing.
guy the
Okay,
money.
yeah. Tell us how we're going to prove that
It
this
was
happened.
Walgreens or a CVS, Metro West. CVS Metro West around 10 o'clock at night.
When?
That was on Saturday. Friday or Saturday.
The Friday or Saturday before this happened?
Mhm.
Before you bought the gun.
Yeah.
But yet, okay, so
I bought the gun for my protection.
no, I got that
I
part.
don't know
Okay,
who these
so the
guys
Friday
were.
or Saturday before that. So I'm trying to figure out how they took the gun from you. Explain that. Walk me through
When-
that.
okay, I was sitting in my car
Where?
in front of their apartment.
What time?
This was 10 something.
Before? Okay.
And they said they were sitting there around the corner since
Who said
knows
that?
how. The same guy.
How did you know that?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
What do you mean? How do we?
Well, they said they were sitting around the corner. How did you know that?
He told me, he's like, we've been watching you. We see you talking to this lady. What's going on? Did you tell her that Jay, you spoke to Jay? And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, I came to talk to this lady to try to resolve an issue. And he put a gun to my head and he said, I know you have a gun on me. I don't know how he knew I had a gun on me
Mm-hmm.
in the first place. He took my gun and he said, leave. I left and I went to Alchemy. From Alchemy, I drove to Daytona and I came back home.
So Friday or Saturday, you give these guys the money,
Mm-hmm.
and you went with.
Yeah.
You went with Amelia. Who did you give the money to?
The same J kid.
Okay, have you met him before?
Yes, he was at my house. I've met him a couple of times here and there. Since our relationship, I don't really get along with him. drugs and stuff like that. So I'm like, okay.
Was there an agreement for more money after it was done?
From what I understand, he said there's $9,000 or something like that. He texted me and I said, what are you talking about?
Was there a discussion about how this was going to be done?
No. Well, from him and Amelia talked in the car. And then I went outside and talked to him. I said, what's going on? He said, oh, Amelia's like my sister. I just want to get, things straight between you and her. Long story short, he said he was there to help her because he's known her for that long. And I said, okay. We gave him I think it was $1,000 that night.
$1,000 at the Walgreens?
No, at our house. He came to our house.
Okay.
And that was maybe, trying to think, maybe $1,000. Then we gave him $4,000. It was a total of $10,000. I know that.
Why'd you have to give him increments?
Amelia said, hey, he needs this, he needs that.
But it wasn't Jay Prasad that put the gun to your head?
No.
Okay. What did that guy look like?
Probably 6'5", bald black guy.
Okay.
All
Not
black clothes.
like African American?
Yeah. He didn't have any hair. He had one of those scully caps on.
How are we going to prove this communication between your wife and Jay Prasad? Did they have text messages?
On Snapchat. I don't know if you guys can pull Snapchat records. Because he texted me. And I said, because I thought he was picking something up. And he was like, yeah, man. I said, nothing happened or something like that. And he was like, yeah, I'm mad because I had money invested into this too. Because I'm thinking, maybe he's going to sell drugs to get this money back. Simple. Because I know him around the area as coke and marijuana.
What do you mean, wait a minute, what do you mean sell drugs to get what money back?
Yeah, I don't know what
Why?
he said. From what our conversation was, he said Amelia's like a sister to him, and he just wants to go ahead and fix things, make things right, and he doesn't want to get us involved. And we gave him $10,000. And you can pull up the video. I looked at it too. There's a camera on the corner of that CVS where you see both of us parking. The first time we parked closest to the store, gave him money. The second time we parked this way, away from the store by the door to give him.
And this was Friday or Saturday? Do you remember which time?
Friday or Saturday.
Around what time of day?
At night. I don't remember the time.
What was it? A Walgreens or CVS?
CVS.
Okay, it's Metro West and what? What area?
That's gotta be Hiawassee and Metro West.
Okay.
It's where the 4 horses are.
Okay, the little
There's
fountain.
a local gas
yeah.
station,
Yeah.
and then a CVS.
What car were you guys in?
The first time, I think we're in Amelia's car. The second time we're in my car.
Okay, so the first time was when?
It should have been on either Friday. The second time would have been on Saturday.
Okay, so you guys went twice to meet him there.
Yeah.
Okay, and both times at night.
Yes.
First time in your Nissan?
No, Amelia's car. The second time in my car, and there was the same black guy was sitting in Jay's driver's seat
Okay. Did you know what you were going to do when you went there? Why you were going
to
there?
give him money.
For what?
Wait a minute.
Why didn't you just give the $9,000 to Cynthia?
Yeah.
I guess that would be the question. Somebody look at this situation. Why wouldn't you just go over there and say, here, we're going to pay it back. Here's $10,000, good faith.
For us, Amelia said it was a good idea to talk to Jay because he can get money like that really quick. I said, I don't know him. You know him.
But again, why would you have to give him $10,000 if you want? I guess I'm just kind of.
Or take the money out of the TD amount. I mean, if you guys
Yeah.
knew the jig was up at that point.
Like I said, we gave Jay the money. Jay said, from my understanding, Jay was going to get her to shut up or go ahead and either buy something or get something, do some type of drug transaction to make that money back.
You know what? I mean, if I may, you know what I see? I see somebody who's trying to explain the disappearance of a gun, and see, the only reason we would explain the disappearance of a gun is because it was used in something. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, but
Josh,
I'm telling
no,
you.
listen, hold on a second, all right? Because realistically, you keep saying that, and Josh, you know, because you're such a good guy,
Mhm.
you don't do a good job not telling the truth. You understand what I'm
Okay.
saying? You do a pretty shitty job
Mhm.
not telling the truth. Okay, so you've lost us. Okay, you've lost us in the fact to say some guy that you know, and it seems like it progresses. It's like, oh, okay, well, yeah, oh yeah, we did, oh yeah, maybe you did. I mean, you're pretty confident about the cameras, but where I get lost is you have this 9mm that you just went and bought. You know, first off, you say you throw it over this bridge because it bothered you when it wasn't even armed. It couldn't even hurt you. So instead of going and selling it back because of money issues and everything else, nope, you just go throw it over the bridge. Nuh-uh. Second thing is, why on earth would this guy need to come up to you? Okay? First of all,
It's the same guy.
no,
that-
listen,
no.
you pay him money to go make him be quiet, right? That doesn't work. I guess apparently or something. Doesn't work. Because you felt the need to go over there by yourself and take it up with him. You didn't call Jay and say, hey, by the way, I paid you $10,000. Why don't you come with me? I'm going to go over there. You didn't do that. No. You didn't say, hey, bring your boy, bring your guy, you know, because, you know, whatever. No, you went over there by yourself. Right?
Mhm.
Okay. I'm lost. You pay this guy $10,000 and you don't even say, hey, I know
that's
I'm
what-
calling him up. Hold on. I know I'm calling him up and saying, hey, by the way, come with me because I paid you all this money. Come with me and let's go make this work. Let's make this right. But you didn't do that. Okay? And then beyond that, you want to say that they happen to be there at the same time you were now. Okay? They just happened to be there at the same time you were, and he happened to know that you had a gun, and he happened to put a gun to your head and take your gun away from you. That's what you want people to believe. Does that, I mean, just listening to it said by somebody else, does that make a lot of sense to you? Why does he need your gun? Why?
I don't know. All I know is
He had a gun.
I went there at between 3:30, 4 o'clock ish. Talked to her.
Mm-hmm.
10 something, maybe 11 something. I said, I come out, I go and sit in my car, I'm vaping, I have my window down, phone
Okay.
turns on, call Amelia, didn't pick up. After this situation, I called her cousins, they said they didn't know where she was.
I got all that. Let me ask you this question. When was the last time you talked to, since paying him all this money, when have you talked to Jay?
Monday,
This Monday that just passed.
last week, not this Monday, the last week, Monday.
Last Monday.
Mm-hmm.
So you paid him Friday and Saturday, then you talked to him on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What was that conversation?
Monday, we said, oh, nothing happened, what happened?
You said that to him?
Yeah.
Okay. And what did he say?
And he said how I have money invested in this too. I'm pissed.
What's he pissed about?
I don't know because I guess he put money in.
What kind of money?
I have no idea. All I know is we gave Jay $10,000.
Mm-hmm.
From that $10,000, I don't know what he put in or what he did or who he talked to. I know the first time we met Jay at CVS, he was by himself. The second time we met Jay at CVS, he wasn't driving. He hopped out of the passenger side of his car. Somebody else was in the driver's seat. Looked like an African American guy.
What was the conversation on Monday? He said he has money in this and he's pissed. What else?
That was it. We called. Me and Amelia called him. He didn't answer. You could check our
What
phone
do you mean he
record.
didn't answer? Was there text messages?
No, we called. It was on Snapchat.
You had a conversation on Snapchat and he said he's pissed about this.
Mm-hmm. And I said I either said I'm
Did you
gonna
ask
call you.
what is going to happen? What's going to happen from here?
All I did was I said I'm gonna call you or something like that. I called. I think I either videoed him a couple times on Snapchat, and then Amelia called from her cell phone to him, and he didn't answer. I think she called like 4 or 5 times.
Mm-hmm. When were they supposed to get you an answer by for the $10,000?
They said it was supposed to be Sunday or Monday.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see news about the murder?
No,
Didn't see anything.
I didn't see. I scrolled. The only thing I really looked up was the whole thing that happened with me in Orange County.
Okay. As today, when you walked in this room, did you know those two people were dead?
No, I saw something, but I didn't read, so I didn't know they were dead.
What did you see?
I know I saw two people murdered, and then I saw something else in another person got shot on the sidewalk. She's scared. But my thing is, like, she knows who she talked to as far as those guys. They took my gun that night, and I left. I went straight to Alchemy. From Alchemy, I took I-4, and I took I-4 to Daytona.
And again, I think somebody listening to this, Josh, too, would be like, and you conveniently had your phone off the whole
Mhm.
time. The bottom line is that the day after this situation with Ocoee and all these things are going on, that next Wednesday morning, about 6:30 in the morning, where were you?
I was home.
Okay. Is your phone back on then?
No, my phone was on at like 8 o'clock in the morning, I think.
Okay.
And I texted the news reporter, and I told him that I'm not comfortable with making any reports or anything like that.
What's the first thing you did when you got home at 6:30 in the morning? Or would you say 5:30 in the morning? You said you got home, right?
Yeah.
What's the first thing you did? 5:30. You're home at Amelia at 14:10.
Yeah.
Okay. What's the first thing you did?
I don't remember.
Don't remember.
Would either one of her parents have seen you there and can tell us that you were there at 6:30 that morning?
Yeah. Her dad.
Which one?
I think her mom.
Her mom?
Her mom's car was home.
Okay. But was she awake? Was she able, like, if we go talk to her and say, hey, this is Wednesday morning at 6:30?
Yeah, she was
Josh
awake.
home?
She usually leaves at like 7 o'clock in the morning to go to work.
Okay.
So she was awake.
Mm-hmm.
You talked to her.
And did she know that you guys had been fighting and
Yeah,
you
she
hadn't
knew.
been home that
Yeah,
night?
she knew we were fighting.
And
And
you talked to her.
Yeah, I talked to her.
What did you guys talk about?
I told her the very next day was that she knew we were arguing. That night, actually, I told her mom that we were arguing. I went out. I came home late. She knew I came home late. And then her mom left the house while I was home. I know that. I was home and her mom had left the house in the morning that morning.
Why'd you lie to us about the gun?
I was scared
Why?
because I didn't know what happened.
What happened to, I mean,
What happened with my gun. I know the wrong people got a hold of
because
my
as
gun.
far as you knew, because like I said, we didn't even ask, and you brought
Yeah.
that up yourself. That doesn't make a lot of sense that you would volunteer that information. Because you knew where, as soon as you heard the name, you knew where this was going, and you knew those people were dead. Are you assuming that your gun was used to kill these people?
That's what I'm assuming.
Okay. Because they stole it from you. Okay. And are you telling us the truth about where you purchased that gun?
Yeah. At the pawn shop in Winter Garden.
As of right now, do you know where that gun is?
I don't.
Okay.
So, why would Amelia tell us you got home at 9 o'clock in the morning?
When?
Wednesday morning, she said you got home at 9 o'clock.
No. You could check our neighbor's cameras. I got home at 6:30 in the morning. I didn't get home at 9 o'clock in the morning. Both of our neighbors that live to the left of us, and another guy that has a pigeon farm or coop. They both
Was it
have
exactly
cameras.
6:30 or close to 6:30?
Close to 6:30.
After?
I don't think after. Because her mom was still home. Because her mom usually leaves early to go to work.
And you, from Daytona Beach, you went straight home.
Yeah, I took
Did you happen to drive by the house again?
no. From Daytona, I took what did I take? I took I-4. I took Lee Road all the way down to John Young, made a right on 50, and came home.
Why would these people who you paid $10,000 to, so you're funding them, paying them $10,000, obviously to take care of a problem, right? You needed to, you guys were desperate enough, I mean, money's tight enough, you guys are desperate enough to pay somebody, and you're there, so you're part of the conversation, right?
Mhm.
So you know what is being said. Why would somebody that you're paying $10,000 to take the time and energy to take your gun away from you to put it to possibly use it?
I don't know.
And your name's on that gun.
I
You
don't
bought that
know.
gun from a pawn shop. Your name's on that gun. So they're going to take it. Now, assuming the gun that they have probably isn't registered to them, I would think. Why would they use that gun that they took from you?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Is your relationship with Amelia so bad that she would pick Jay Prasad over you?
No, I just know no, it wasn't me. I didn't do anything.
Well, again, here's the problem, okay? It's a big problem, and I've told you, I mean, we can only do this for so long. Your chances of explaining yourself and explaining how, you know, if this was something that got out of hand, and this wasn't something that you planned, it wasn't something that you put into effect as far as, you know.
I just wanted to talk to them.
Okay.
That was it.
Okay.
And before I left, I was confronted by a guy when I was in my car about to leave.
Where exactly did that happen at?
Inside the right in front of her apartment.
Was it when both times they went to the Walgreens, were they in Jay's car?
Yeah.
What kind of car does he have?
He has a charcoal gray Infiniti G37.
Okay. And is that the car that this guy came out of when they confronted you and
That's
took your gun?
No, he walked up to me.
Oh, okay.
He said they were watching me since I was there.
Okay.
If you took a polygraph right now, would it show that you
Mm-hmm.
told the truth?
Yeah.
About what?
About me going there and talking to them, my gun being taken away from me, and me going to Alchemy, and me going to Daytona.
And if they asked you if you shot those people, what would it show?
That I'm telling the truth and I didn't do that.
All right. We'll be back in just a minute then. We're going to go talk to her some more then.
Time is now approximately
Can they have
16:30
a
hours.
blanket or something?
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
I think my one partner tried to find you one.
It's cold.
All right, buddy. We'll be back. We'll get you.
But all I know, like I said, I got there, talked to her. I called Amelia at 11 something. She didn't answer. I talked to her cousins and I said, hey, do you know where Amelia is? No. I said, all right, I'm going to go hang out. That's when I was confronted.
Justin, just before we leave, this is what I would tell you, okay? In this situation, when down the line people are trying to figure out the punishment, who gets punished for this, they want to see a couple things. And of course, the truth's one thing, remorse is another. But the things you're telling us, you know, we have to do our jobs and we're going to check it out.
That's fine.
If it shows that you were lying, and this goes for Amelia too.
Yeah.
If this shows that you were lying and that you were trying to bring some innocent person into
No,
this,
I'm telling you now, you could check the cameras. You could, I don't know if the cameras could see.
well, like I
inside
said,
the
you
car.
may have been
Yeah.
there. Like I said, but and that's right. That you very well could have met with Jay and this guy. Okay, but the problem is that gun thing for you right now.
Yeah.
Okay, that one's, and the fact that you were this. We had a neighbor ID you. Right, that Nissan Altima, describe you to a
Yeah,
T.
because I was there.
Yeah,
I was
that's
there,
why we knew you
Yeah.
were there. You know, we knew that you were there. And then you conveniently don't have your phone on. I mean, those things all add up to a lot of smoke. And where there's smoke, there's fire. And you know, but like I said, we're not going to be unfair to you. That you've
Yeah.
told us, you know, you've told us something.
It's
All right. There you go, man. Better?
yeah.
Look at that.
Yes.
I gotta tell you, Josh, and I know Detective Ferrer feels. I think both of us are totally baffled after talking with both you and your wife for the whole day. How two people like you end up in a situation like this?
It's a shitty situation, and I hate to say it.
And it's compounded by the fact that one of you is trying to send the other one to prison for the rest of their lives because you're telling totally different stories.
And that's what I've said. Like, you could check our phones. She talked to Jay regarding either taking care of two people or taking care of the issue, and we paid him, specifically him, $10.
This is Detective Brian Ferrer of the Orlando Police Department. Detective Michael Morris is also present. We are back into room 4 on July 26, 2018 at approximately 17:55 hours. We were back talking to Mr. Joshua. How do you say your last name?
Ramsawmy, the W sound.
Ramsawmy.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. You remember you've been sworn in and you understand that,
Yes.
your rights are still in place and everything. Okay. So obviously we want to follow up with you because, we went back and talked to Amelia.
Mhm.
And, again, we're just trying to understand. She's saying one thing, you're saying another, and we think probably the truth's somewhere in the middle. You understand what we're saying?
Yeah.
Truth somewhere in the middle. The fact of the matter is, the investigation's not going to stop. Okay, you understand that, right?
Yeah. I understand.
And you understand that, okay, so now we know who Jay is, and we're going to talk to Jay, all right? And let's put it all on the table for a second here, okay? What are you and Jay normally dealing with? What have you dealt with in the past?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Nothing. My wife has been his friend since before we got together.
Okay.
More than 6 years, 7 years ago.
You two ever
So-
exchange any drugs?
No.
No.
Never.
Have you ever sold any of your pain medication that you got since you shot yourself in the leg?
Oh, I gave it to him. Yeah, I gave it to him. I didn't sell anything to him.
Wow.
Yeah, I
You gave it to Jay?
Yeah, I gave it to Jay that night.
Why?
He came over. He said he was taking some. I don't remember what exactly he was taking. I think he was saying some oxycodone or something for some pain, and he ran out of medicine. I said, "You could have mine because I don't take it no longer."
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't sell him anything.
When did you stop taking yours?
3 months ago, I
Well-
started using CBD. I'm not gonna lie.
What's that?
It's cannabis oil.
Okay.
Yeah. It helps with nerve regeneration.
When did you stop taking yours? You said 3 months ago?
Yeah.
When did you last refill your prescription for it?
Same thing. About 3 months ago.
Okay.
I had about 50 of them left, if that.
And how many did you give him?
All of them.
All
'Cause
of
I
them?
don't. Yeah, I don't use any of them.
How did you give them to him?
I just gave it to him in a bag
Why in a bag?
because I didn't want to give him my prescription bottle.
Was that was in the CVS parking lot
No, that was at our house.
at the house?
Yeah.
And that's when you gave him how
It
much?
was like $1,000
$1,000.
because I was on the pain medicine and I was on gabapentin, but I stopped both.
Okay. Again, I think what we're seeing is two people that have made some bad decisions. Okay. Now, are you saying that Jay was the one who did this?
I don't know.
You don't know.
I don't know. All I know is the guy that confronted me that day on that Tuesday night in that apartment complex really resembled the guy that was in his car that night.
I thought you said Jay was with him that night, when you were in the apartment complex.
No, I didn't say that.
No. So Jay wasn't with him.
Yeah, that guy was by himself. He said they were watching me.
All right.
Is it your understanding, when you met with Jay over there and these pills and this money was exchanged, that it was for him taking care of this situation?
Yeah,
Okay, so you knew that.
yeah, I knew that.
But
he
you're
was-
saying that it was Amelia that was giving him this, but the pills are yours.
Yeah, the pills are mine. I told him. He told me, hey, he had something happen. He said he was on medication. He ran out. I said, I don't use mine. I haven't used mine for X amount of months.
So what did you, when you gave him the pills and that money that night in the parking lot, what did you expect to happen after that?
I expected he was going to get some type of money back from everything. Because he said, okay, you have this pills. I can use some. I can sell some. I can get you money back. And then he said, with the money that we're giving him, he said he's going to work out something where everything is resolved. I said, okay.
Okay.
And I mean, you could check my
So
phone.
this was like going to be an investment for you guys to get money to pay it back. It wasn't for him to go kill them.
No, from
That
my understanding, he said he was going to take care of it. I don't know what him and Amelia said before I got in the car, because Amelia came back in the house, said Jay's outside, he needs $1,000, and I talked to him, and then I came back inside, I got the medicine, gave it to him. He said specifically, I don't want to get Amelia in trouble. I don't want you to get in trouble. Amelia's like a sister to me. I've known her for like forever basically, and how that he's gonna go ahead and make everything correct and right for us. And I said, okay. I gave him the medicine. I said, I don't use it anymore. I said, whatever you have to do to go ahead and rectify the situation, get it resolved, get the money back, whatever, you do that. And then he spoke to Amelia, so we had to give him, I think it was either $3,000 or $4,000 the next day, which was on Saturday or Friday, and then Saturday. So Thursday he was at our house, Friday we met him, and Saturday we met him.
So you were expecting money back,
Yeah,
not for him to go kill these people.
yeah, I wasn't expecting anybody to get killed.
So you paid? Okay, I think I'm starting to understand this. So you gave him those pills to sell for you?
Yeah, to get the money. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So how much did he say he was going to get you for selling the pills?
I don't. He said about $25 each. I gave him about 50.
Okay, so let's do the math.
That's
We
like
got him-
$2,000, I think.
Okay, so $2,000.
So I said, all right, we're investing another. We gave him $10,000 too, because he told us in total it'd be $10,000 for everything for us.
Think
What do you mean
about
for
this.
everything?
Think about this for a second. Yeah, I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No, you're okay.
You, by your own admission, don't know this Jay Prasad very well.
No, I don't.
Okay.
But my wife. The thing is, Amelia vouched for him.
When you
like a
went,
prophet.
we're giving $9,000 to a guy that you don't know, who's now become a drug dealer, hoping that he's going to get it back to you. I mean, if you were us, would you believe that story?
Yeah,
You're smarter than that, dude.
I know. I understand.
You are
that.
smarter
And you
than
can,
that.
Like I said, that Thursday or Friday night, he came to our house. I gave him 50. It was about 50 painkillers.
Mm-hmm.
He said he was going to sell them. The very next day, we gave him. The same day, we gave him. I think it was $1,000, and then in total, the money we gave him was $10,000.
And the bottom line is, you haven't seen that money or any other money from Jay Prasad.
Correct. I
And you have
haven't
not
seen him
had
since
any.
Tuesday.
That Saturday night when you met him and you paid him.
Yeah, he video called me on Sunday.
Okay.
I think at 3:00 in the morning or something like that.
Okay. And that's the last time
That
you
was
ever
the
spoke.
last time. I didn't even answer. I was sleeping.
Okay. All right.
That
So
was
you
the
didn't even
last
talk
time.
to him.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
You
then-
didn't reach out to him after you
I
found
did,
out
yeah,
these
yeah.
people were dead.
No. I didn't reach out to anybody on that Sunday night. The Monday, Amelia said, or I texted him and she said, oh, how something about Cynthia is asking questions, and I said okay, and then she tried calling Jay multiple times, and I could give you our login for our Sprint phone bill, and you can see that she called it multiple times on Monday.
Somebody used her phone to call him. Let's put it that way.
No.
No.
She called. I was there. I was sitting on the toilet, dropping a dump, and I was like, "Are you trying to call him?" She said, "I'm calling him for private."
Why did she call him from private?
I don't know.
This was Jay.
Yeah, because he wasn't answering any of her replying back to her messages or anything like that.
When was this?
On Monday.
After you guys gave him money.
Yeah.
You think he kind of took your money and took off?
I have no idea.
Well, I mean, that's kind of what it sounds
Yeah.
like.
I think I have a very clear picture of what happened now.
Yeah. He scammed you.
Yeah. Listen, I'll be honest with you guys. This is what I think happened. I think you guys were trying to get out of this situation. That's one way you saw to do it. He scammed you out of money, and at that point, you had no choice but to go over there and kill these two people. So, I mean, that's exactly applying the fact that I've done this job for 27 years and just common sense to it, and the whole story about you tossing the gun in Daytona, all of that. That's all it comes back to, and I think anybody listening to this story will. We're going to check out your story, obviously. We owe that to you. We owe that to the few people that are dead and their family. Before we do, I always ask people this. Is there anything... Okay, we're going to check... We need to check her TD account with her dad, right?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
I know
So that's
that
one
for
thing
sure.
that we can check and verify. Okay, what else? Tell us what else we can check.
I just bought a whole bunch of appliances for the house.
Okay,
If you
we
go
know
into
you
our
did
house-
that, and she's admitting that we know you guys were at the Walgreens. We don't even have to look at the video because you both are saying that. We know that. But what else? What else can we of what you're telling us?
All I know is at 11 o'clock, 11 something, I called Amelia's phone. She didn't answer.
Okay, we know that happened.
I said,
right.
okay, that's fine. I said, all right. I turned my phone off. I'm like, all right, I'll just keep to myself.
So, I probably asked you this already, Josh. But when did you hear about this murder? About these people being killed?
Maybe, I think Wednesday. Not even. I didn't even really, probably Thursday.
Okay, did you see their pictures or figure out who they were?
I saw the pictures and I was like, holy shit.
And what did you think?
I was like, what the hell is going on?
Okay, did you ask your wife about what happened?
I didn't ask her anything.
Why not? I mean, to me, that would seem like a natural thing.
For me, well, I asked her, hey, did you talk to Cynthia? And she didn't answer me. And she said, oh, she's supposed to call me on Friday.
Okay.
And that's what she said. And I know she talked to Cynthia on the phone.
Did it ever come up that Jay Prasad had gone over there and killed them? Did you ever talk with your wife about
No,
who?
I didn't. No, I
Did
didn't
your
talk.
wife? Did you and your wife ever talk about who may have killed these two people?
No, I told her, I remember I said, you talked to Jay. Did he talk back to you? Has Jay talked back to you? And I told her I blocked him on Snapchat. I was like, I don't know what's going on. And I said, you could check my phone. I have him blocked on Snapchat. I think she still has him as a friend, so I don't know if they've talked after that or anything like that. I just know for me, I blocked him. And I haven't talked back to him.
Did you ever tell your wife that you killed these two people, and if she said anything, you would kill her
No.
and her whole family?
No. Never. Never would have said that.
But you and your wife, after you found out that it was Cynthia Stack and Sean Stack that were killed that morning in their apartment, never discussed their murder, who might have done it, and this might come back to you. Did you ever think that?
Yeah, we talked about that.
What was that conversation? What did you guys talk about yesterday?
I said, we're going on a cruise. This is kind of crazy with all the stuff going on right now. I told her, I saw something on the news when I was looking up the situation with the Coy Police Department because I wanted to see if my name was out as far as if reporters or anything got my name because they had my number. And then she told me, it's crazy, like what happened to them or whatever. And I was like, and I asked her, I was like, did you talk to Jay back? And she's like, no, Jay didn't talk back to me as yet. So I left it at that. I woke up this morning, dropped Julian to school, came back home, got dressed. I went back by my parents' house, and then I went to work.
But you're a smart guy. Did you, when you saw this and heard this, did you think about this? This is going to lead back to us.
Yeah.
I mean, all we have to do is file, and obviously all we did was file the money.
Yeah, I did.
Well, and I another question. I know this is a tough one to answer, but did you think like, hey, maybe we should go to the police, or maybe I should go to the police?
Well, that was my instinct at first, and then she told me, Jay said they were gonna get it handled or whatever, and I said, this guy gave you this money. So from what you're telling me, right? He gave you this money. We deposited, we use it, whatever, and then you're telling me the ladies or her son stole money from, or his son stole money from him before.
Right. So I will tell you the same thing that we told Amelia, Josh, that if have you told us the truth today? Yeah. Okay. You initially lied about the gun.
I'll say that on recording. I'm scared as shit. I lied about the gun, but from when I left the house at about 3:30, somewhere around there, I got to Cynthia's house, knocked on the door. Sean answered the door, and I sat and talked with both of them like they were family to me.
Okay.
And I found out their situation. Like, she told me she got arrested before. She's trying to do better for Sean. And Sean was telling me he's trying to get a job, but he keeps to himself because his father passed away. I mean, we talked about a lot. And I told her, and Sean even told me he had some random guy come to the door before that. And I was like, you guys just watch out, with everything going on.
So you told them about this situation with Jay?
I didn't tell him the situation with Jay. I just said, be careful.
What did he say about this random guy?
He said he came to the door knocking on one night. He knocked on the back of the door. They have, I guess, 2 entrances, back of the door, and then another night they knocked on the front of the door, but he didn't know who it was, so he didn't answer the door.
Okay.
But after I got done talking to them around 11 o'clock, I got in my car, sat down. I was vaping in my car, called Amelia. I texted her. I said, yo, or something like that. And then I called her cousins. I said, all right, nobody knows where she is. I'm like, okay, I'll go to Alchemy. And that's when the guy approached me. And I should have called the cops then.
He approached you in Alchemy?
No, he approached me in the car before I left to go to Alchemy.
Okay, so you were at the Jefferson Street apartment.
I was at the residence, yes.
Okay. And you were in your car?
I was sitting in my car.
And he put a gun to your head?
He put a gun to my head. I had my gun sitting next to my next to my shifter in my car, by
Okay.
my cup holder.
Let me
He
ask you
said,
this: when
"Give
you
me-"
went to Alchemy, so that it's like the apartments are between two roads, right?
Mhm.
When you went to Alchemy, did you go like pull out of their apartment and go to Jefferson, or did you go back? I'm sorry, to Polk, or did you go back to Jefferson?
I guess that was Jefferson.
Okay, because theirs is like the second to last apartment right there on the
Yeah.
bottom floor. Did you go just one past it and make a right or left, or did you go backwards?
It was back. Let me see. When I left, I made a right out of the apartment complex.
Okay, yeah, you would have gone back to Jefferson then.
Yeah.
Okay, is that the way you came in as well?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I believe so.
This guy, which way did he approach you from?
Okay, so say if their apartment is here, the last apartment's here.
Right.
There's a dumpster here.
Yeah.
I was sitting in my car here vaping. He came from this way. Literally, like, out of nowhere, blindside, because there was a white car parked next to me.
Right. Why did you decide to sit there and vape?
I was trying to get a hold of Amelia. And I was stressed. I was like, and that's when he came up to my car and was like, "Yo, give me your piece." He saw my gun in the center console, and I froze. I couldn't move. I was like, "Listen," I was like, "Don't." He was like, "Oh, give me your piece," and he said something else.
Did he say something to indicate that he was with Jay, or that
He
was
he
part
said
of this?
all he said was, "We've been watching you," and it clicked in my head like, the only people we ever said anything about to this was Jay, and that was it.
Okay. I mean, so again, just to wrap up my part, I think Detective Ferrer may have a couple more questions for you, but you told us the truth. The truth doesn't change. As far as this goes, the only thing you can tell us to help verify this is the bank account. Can you think of anything else? Let me ask you this. When we go talk to Jay, what is he going to say?
I have no idea.
Okay.
He'll tell you that we gave him the money.
And are things that, would you have expected your wife to say that you did this if you didn't do it? Are things that bad?
I mean, she said I forced her to get married. So,
But I mean, she's basically sending you to prison for the rest of your life.
I would never expect that from her at all.
You don't seem that surprised, though.
No, I mean, I am, but it's like, to take in everything now, it's like, I don't know, like, if she talked to Jay, if, like, who else talked to her about anything.
All right, let's kind of, I want to go back over that. Okay, so, and then, we'll go back over a couple of things. So Jay comes into the picture because Cynthia won't stop calling Amelia.
Yeah, and I think that was Thursday night. Thursday or Friday night.
Okay.
One or the other. I know we met with him 3 nights.
Is it because Cynthia won't stop calling Amelia, or is it because you guys are trying to flip these pills for cash quick? What's the more, is it more that you try
Well, no. He came to the house first.
for the pills?
No, he came to the house 1st
Mm-hmm.
because Amelia texted him, "Hey, come to the house," or something like that. Because they
Mhm.
were talking outside for about 15 minutes,
Mm-hmm.
and I was in the house. She came back in the house. She said, "Oh, Jay wants to talk to you."
Mm-hmm.
And while we were conversating about, him and Amelia had talked, and he's gonna need some money, I said, "Okay, that's fine."
Hold on. What did he say him and Amelia talked about?
He all he said was that Amelia told me the situation. He said he's known Amelia for a number of years,
Mhm.
like a sister,
Mm-hmm.
and he wants to go ahead and not get us involved.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to go ahead and do what he has to do to go ahead and make things right. And I told him, "Hey," and I said, "Oh, he's saying, I know you guys owe them some money or something like that, and he can basically get some, I don't know, flip money or something." And that's when I told him, "Hey, he was like, "Oh, I hurt myself," because I was telling him about my leg
Mm-hmm.
and how I stopped using my medication and I started using CBD.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, "Yeah, I ran out of medicine." And I told him, "I have in the house. I have," and I told him it's probably about 50 pills or so. And I said, "If you need to use them, use them. Whatever you need to do, sell the rest. Simple." And he said, "Okay." I gave it to him. I threw my medicine bottle in the recycle bin because I didn't want him to have any of my, my name information, my doctor's information. I gave him the bag with the medicine, and then I gave him the money too.
How much money?
I think it was like $1,000 that night.
Now, here's the thing. If I'm in your situation, I got a lot of money. I mean, a lot of money problems. I guess you're trying to figure out money. It's not easy to just give somebody $1,000. Okay, so you gave him $1,000 with the understanding of what?
That he was gonna either buy something to flip and make more money, or I don't like and that's why I gave him the pills too.
So the only thing that you talked to him about was basically making you money to get back to them.
Yeah.
Okay, so you gave him money to go buy. What kind of drugs did you say he was going to buy?
He didn't tell me what he was gonna buy.
But he was going to flip it.
Yeah, he was gonna flip the money and get. And
How much was he going to take for doing that?
He was like, this is Amelia, this is my sister. I'm gonna do her a favor.
Okay, so he's going to sell the pills and flip whatever drugs he bought.
Whatever
Okay.
he's buying.
So
Because that's why we had to give
That
him
was-
the $10,000.
that was to buy drugs.
Yeah.
To flip.
Yeah, to whatever he was gonna do with
Okay.
the money to go ahead and make.
Okay,
Make this work.
so let's hold on a second. So now, see that we've got a disconnect now. I don't know. Do you see this disconnect? I see it. Okay. So take care of the problem for you and him was Jay was basically going to buy drugs and flip them and give you money. So you,
But I don't know what Amelia and him had a conversation about.
okay. Well, does it really matter? Because the understanding was you were going to give him drugs. I mean, give him money so he could buy drugs to give you guys money.
Yeah.
Okay. So what's this? I don't know what Amelia talked to him about stuff. Obviously, you guys came to an agreement. You and him came to an agreement.
Yeah, but
Okay.
like I said, that's what he
hold
told
on.
me.
No, listen to me, all right? Because now you're starting to lose this again. And again, we're going to keep going. I don't know what they talked about. I don't know what they talked about. No, it's very simple. You gave him money, okay, to try and flip drugs. And the reason why is because she was turning up the heat on you guys.
Correct.
She wasn't letting go.
Correct.
Okay, and you go over there that night, okay? Now this whole thing like, oh, it could be this guy, I don't know. We've been watching you. That could be three guys down the street, okay? That's very, So where I start getting lost again is you've been intimating that this Jay guy might have something to do with this.
Correct.
But really, that's not the case because you guys never talked to him about going over there and doing anything.
Yes, Amelia. I think Amelia gave him her address.
How's that?
She said, "I have the address."
Where did
That
she have it
night.
at?
I don't know.
She said that. You heard her say that.
No, that's what he told me. Oh, I have her address. I have the phone number.
Well, okay, well, how can we again, it's like bits and pieces, isn't it? It's like, why do we keep getting bits and pieces?
But it's all.
Okay. So if that's the case, right?
Mhm.
All right, so let's go this route then, because I'm lost again. Okay, so if the case is, you gave him, how much altogether did you give him?
$10,000.
$10,000, okay, and you gave it to him on a Friday and a Saturday or something like
Between
that?
Friday and Saturday.
Yeah, okay. And then, so you give him this money either to buy drugs or go take care of the problem. We don't really know because you're assuming that's what Amelia talked to him about. But you
Correct.
don't know that.
Yeah,
The
I don't.
only
Like I
thing-
said, I don't know.
To your
him.
knowledge, the only thing that he was going to do is buy drugs to give you guys the money for selling the drugs. That's it,
Yeah.
right? Okay. But in the other world here, your world here of, oh no, Amelia paid him and maybe he was going to go take care of the problem, right?
Correct.
Yeah, okay. Why would you go over there on Wednesday?
I went there
Tuesday. Why would you go there on Tuesday?
to go talk to them to make.
Why?
Because to tell her we're gonna give the money back.
But that defeats the whole purpose of giving him money to take care of the problem.
From my understanding, the money we gave him, was to get the money back. That's why I went there on Wednesday to
Ah.
see her.
Okay, so there really was never any indication that they were going to go over there and take care of the problem.
What do you mean? No, for me,
No,
Jay was gonna go ahead and
Yes.
get the money back.
that's it.
That's it.
And he wasn't going to go over there and hurt them.
Correct.
He wasn't going to go over there and do anything. No.
Correct.
So, but again, so you go over there on Wednesday. So really, Jay didn't do this.
I was on. It was
Jay
on
didn't
Tuesday.
do.
I
Jay
went
didn't
there.
do this.
On Tuesday. I went
Because
there.
that's kind of the feeling I got when we came in here the last time is that you
Mhm.
guys paid Jay, and Jay basically came in and did this.
The
Let's
money
agree
back.
right now that Jay didn't do this.
I don't know.
How do you not know?
Because I don't know Jay like that. That's the problem. I've seen Jay maybe 4 times, 5 times,
So you give.
and the only reason
Are
I
you
trusted
saying
this
that? Are you
situation-
saying that basically?
I feel like Amelia paid him the money to go kill them. That's how I.
But you
feel.
paid him the money.
We both did.
Yeah.
We both did.
And I'm sure that you both came to an agreement as to why you were going to pay him the money in the beginning.
My understanding was to get some type
Right.
of monetary.
So why would you go behind your back and talk? Again, I get lost. Why would you go behind your back? You, your husband, your wife. Why would you go behind your back and tell him to go take care of business?
I don't know.
She's not that kind of person.
You
Let's be
should
real.
go ahead and look her.
Hey,
her
let me
phone-
explain something to you. You
Look
know
at
who's
her
all
phone
over that
records.
account? You know who's all over that account? You are.
What
You know,
account?
okay. You know
I
who's,
know that.
You know who's eyeballs deep into this? You are. Okay, so don't say, this whole thing of, oh, she came home and I just did this. That's bullshit. I'll tell you right now. Oh,
I'll
yes,
take
it
a
is.
give
You
me
want
a
to take a
polygraph
polygraph? Good. Let's set it up right now. You gonna go take it right now?
right now.
Okay.
That's fine.
We'll set it up right now. So, but in the meantime, let's go work on that. Let's go set that up. In the meantime,
All I know is Amelia came home
no,
that
listen,
day.
you keep saying all I know, and I'm telling you, listen, okay? Because you got to understand something here, okay?
Okay.
If you care about Julian at all, do you really care about that kid?
Yeah, I do. I love him like
Okay,
he's my own
so let's
son.
talk about the only innocent person in this whole thing. amongst you guys
Correct.
is Julian.
Yes.
This little 7-year-old boy that you take to school every day,
Mhm.
that you love like your own. You're willing to see his mother go to jail for the rest of her life, is what you're telling me. Yes. Because one way or another, listen, one way or another, we got to deal with this, and somebody's going to be held responsible. And responsible is very different things, okay? But if she gets in trouble, because you're basically saying that she paid this guy Jay to go kill her and the grandson, fine. If that's the way you want to go, then guess what? When she gets in trouble for it, she's going away. And then Julian grows up without a mother, okay? Now, I don't know about that, but to me, if that's not the case, that's a really shitty thing to do.
I understand that.
And you're going to have to, well, okay.
And that's why I'm telling you now, that if that's what it has to be because for me, all I know is she gave Jay the money. For me,
You gave him the money too.
exactly, and you're right.
Don't
We're-
see what you're
yeah.
doing. You keep doing that.
Okay,
Stop
we're
doing that. You
both-
gave him the money,
Correct.
both of you.
Both of us.
So
correct.
guess what? If
We're
she's
both liable,
yeah,
correct.
exactly.
You're both-
So
yeah.
one way or another, you're in trouble.
Correct.
Okay. So let's figure that
And
out.
I'll own up to that, but
Oh,
did
you're
not
going up to the fact that you gave this guy money to go kill these two people.
I did not. No,
Yes.
no, I'm not owning up to
That's
that.
right. Well, it doesn't work
I'll
both
own
ways.
up to the fact
Josh,
that
it
I
doesn't
gave
work
him
both
money.
ways. You can't sit here and say she did it. You can't sit there and
Yeah,
say she
and
did it
I
when you're there with
understand.
her. You're there
Exactly.
with her.
You're right. You're right.
So don't say she went outside and had a conversation. That's bullshit
No,
again.
it's not. You can.
No,
okay,
it's
listen,
not.
listen.
Josh,
You can
stop.
ask
You
her
listen
par-
for a second. Now
You can
listen.
ask her parents
Listen
that
to me,
night.
Josh.
Her
Josh,
parents were
I don't
like-
want to ask her parents. I'm talking to you. You're a grown man.
I understand.
All
that.
right? You can't say that she's responsible for it. You can't say that.
We both are. In that
That's
sense.
right.
And
So
I
now
have
these two
no
people are
problem with
dead.
that.
You gave somebody money, and you're saying these two people are dead because of it.
And I don't know if that's the reason why.
You-
All I know is Amelia.
How could you say
came-
you don't know that's
I
the
was
reason why?
sitting, I remember this day. I was sitting on the toilet. She
I don't
said,
wanna hear about you
"I'm
sitting
gonna
on the
talk.
toilet."
I'm gonna talk to Jay."
Right. And
To
the
get
only
this
thing was,
resolved.
then you know what happened? You lost your temper.
No.
Yes.
No, it's not.
Yes. It
I
is.
did not
You,
lose
you
my
lost
temper.
your temper and you got scared. I'm
Last,
telling you right
last
now.
question I have for you,
Yeah.
Josh. So you're sitting there in the parking lot. This guy comes up and robs you while you're vaping in your car, takes your gun. Does he take anything else?
Just my gun.
Doesn't
That's
ask
it.
for money or anything else?
Nothing.
Okay.
He said, "We've been watching you. We know why you're here." And I said,
Okay.
"What the fuck?"
So then you drove off right after that happened?
Yeah, I drove off straight to
Okay.
Alchemy.
So he let you get the gun out of the. He let you get the gun out of the console.
It was sitting. He had a gun to my head. He said, "Give me the piece."
Okay. So
and
he
I,
let you.
I was on. I was vaping in this hand, and I had my hand on the steering wheel, so either or my hand down here, something like that. And I was vaping, and all I felt was something pressed against my head. And he said, "Give me your piece. We've been watching you. We know why you're here." And I said, "Okay." I put my vape down, grabbed my gun, and I gave it to him.
So this is like what kind of night?
11 something.
11 something.
Yeah. Maybe
So-
10:30, 11.
Okay. What route did you take to go to Alchemy?
I took from there. I took Amelia, or what is it, Tampa back to 50, and I took 50 to Kirkman.
50 all the way to Kirkland. Okay. Obviously, you're at Alchemy. You know,
Yes.
people see you. Your car is on Snapchat.
Yes, my car is on Snapchat.
And you stayed there till what time?
Maybe 1, 2 o'clock in the morning.
Okay. Phone's off, right?
Drive back. I drove, and I did go to Daytona last night.
Drove to Daytona.
Took I-4 all the way there.
I-4. Did you go to Kirkman to I-4 and then I-4 the whole way?
Yeah,
Okay.
I believe so. And then when I came back, I got off on Lee Road, and took Lee to John Young back to 50
Okay.
to our house.
To
And
your
I-
house
Yeah.
and arrived.
6:30 back to the house. Between 5:30 and 6:30.
Okay.
I know her mom's car was home by then.
Well, I got another question. These things keep popping up. So, your contention is you left that apartment that night. You left your house that night because you and Amelia had a fight,
Correct.
and that's why your phone was off. What made you decide to go over to Cynthia's apartment at that time?
The frustration with the fight we had, and the frustration with the whole thing she was telling me about the money.
Well, explain that to me. Help me understand.
So, again, I went over there. We were arguing, and I was like, we're in this problem with money now.
Okay, see, there's where I get lost again. Remember, you said you didn't know what she talked to him about, but she just said to you. So again, so you know then that she didn't talk to him about doing anything else. You're nodding your head yes.
I don't know.
Well, no, you just said it. You just said. No, that's not what you said. You just said we paid Jay to get our money back. And if she did say handle the situation, that means you know what she talked to him about. So one way or another, we're lost. Josh, it's just going to keep compounding, Josh. compounding and compounding, and it's not going away. And I told you from the beginning, if this is something that happened that got out of control, then we can understand it, and that works. You're got your back up against the wall. You're probably scared shitless because she's going to go to the cops.
If I tell you the truth, will Amelia get in trouble?
Huh?
If I tell you the truth, will Amelia get in trouble?
No, if you tell us the truth, no.
I don't want anything to happen to her or
Okay,
Julian.
we need this. She needs this. Julian needs this. What happened?
That Thursday night, she told me she's going to call Jay
Uh-huh.
and have him take care of it. And I said, what do you mean have him take care of it? What's going on? She said, no, they're going to take care of her. I said, all right. And I'm guilty for that. I paid Jay to go ahead and either, I don't know what he meant by take care of it, but obviously these two people are dead.
Well, now I'm trying to figure out what to believe, because now you're saying she's not involved, she is involved. How
She
is
is
this?
involved because she hit Jay up that night and said, I know Jay can go ahead and handle the situation.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't want to get her. I don't want her to get in trouble for this. I'll take them. Whatever it is you have to give to her, I'll take it. I'll take it.
Josh.
Jeff, what you just said is really no different from what you've been telling us
No.
all day. I mean,
No.
that's not some new revelation that you're claiming that she paid Jay Prasad to take care of this woman, or
Correct.
I guess you added it a little bit more clearly that that's what the intent of it was, but
And you
know,
can check her phone records
No,
too.
don't, Josh, listen to me. Listen. If you're going to stand up, we need to stand up, okay? The fact of the matter is, your phone being on, let's stack this all up, okay? Your gun's gone. We don't know who took it. It just happens to be gone. The brand new gun that you bought. And you sat here for, 15 minutes telling us why you threw it over a bridge, all right? Every time I keep pointing out something to you that just doesn't make sense, it keeps, you keep flipping it. You keep changing it, okay? That doesn't look good, all right?
And then I'll tell you now.
Yeah.
Jay hit me up
Uh-huh,
and said, we need $9,000 more.
uh-huh.
And I told him we only have
For drugs.
5,000.
9,000 more for drugs.
No.
Well, why did you give him the drugs then in the first place?
He was gonna sell them. He needed them. He said for his whatever his pain or something happened to his leg or something.
Who killed these people?
It had to have been Jay's people.
Is Jay that big of a guy? Does he have that kind of people?
He said he knows people.
What did he say? Let's talk about the conversation you had with him about what he was going to do.
That night, Amelia came back in the house and said Jay wants to talk to you. She said Jay has people to go ahead and take care of the situation.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted $25,000. She told him we didn't have $25,000, so we paid them $1,000. He said he needs some material or something, and from that, the next day he said I need more. We paid him. I think it was supposed to be $4,000, but we forgot we took out the $1,000 from a $3,000 band. So that was $4,000, and the next day we gave him $6,000.
With the understanding that he was going to do what?
Kill these people.
Kill them.
Correct.
Okay. And when was he supposed to kill them?
At their house.
When?
He didn't give me a day.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
is this a direct conversation you had with Jay, or is this what she's telling you that Jay
This
said?
is a direct conversation we both had with him.
Okay, you were both, and where was that conversation?
On Snapchat.
Okay. All right. So you and her are having this conversation over
And in the-
Snapchat with him.
About
Mhm.
killing somebody?
She said to take care of it.
On Snapchat.
Correct.
Whose Snapchat? Whose Snapchat
I talked
account?
to him twice about he said that they're gonna need $9,000 more, and I told him we already gave him 6 or something like that, and that
What's your account name?
it should be Drummer Kid, I think. DRUMMERKIDD.
Drummer Kid.
Yeah.
And what is
1990.
11?
1990.
So the year you were born.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then I don't know his Snapchat name because my wife added him on my Snapchat.
What is Emily's? I'm sorry, Amelia.
Millie X3 or something like that.
M-I...
Millie X3 or X3 Millie. I don't remember because my phone saves it as contacts.
Okay.
I think Jay's phone number in my phone is AB or something like that in my phone.
So okay. So you have this conversation, and exactly what day was that again?
That was Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Okay. You have that conversation. Okay, so what happens on Sunday?
Nothing.
What happens on Monday?
Nothing.
Tuesday?
Nothing. Didn't hear back. Well, Monday, that's when the lady called her again,
Mm-hmm.
and she was like, nothing happened. And I said, okay. She said, do you need to come home now? I left work. I came home, and she said, I tried getting in contact with Jay. He didn't answer. And then I talked to him, and I was like, nothing happened. He said, yeah, they took the money. I feel bad because my money, I feel like shit because my money's involved with it too. And then after that, he said, it'll get handled or something like that. And I left it alone.
Why do you set this thing in motion with all, we're getting to the point, okay, you've now paid somebody a fairly substantial amount of money to kill somebody or to take care of somebody, and then on Wednesday you go expose yourself to these people. And like I said, I have no doubt.
Do you understand what he's saying?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
you
went
go
on
over there and
Tuesday.
you're like making yourself known. People see you. They obviously identified you. You spend a great deal of time. And you know what, Josh? I have no doubt. The one thing that we could tell for sure is that when you went over there that afternoon, it wasn't to kill him because you were there for too long. It's in the middle of the day. People are going to see you.
Yeah, and
So if you've already set in motion this plan to have this thing taken care of, why would you go over there and do that? That defies common sense. And you're not you know what? If nothing, you and your wife, you're not idiots. You did a pretty good job of covering your tracks, but that just defies. Did he take your money and run with it? Is that what you thought at that point? Because nothing had happened.
I don't know. All I know is that she said that she tried to get in contact with him, and I know that same Wednesday or Tuesday that I was there, she said she's going to talk to her friend Melissa, because Melissa talks to Jay too, and that she was going to be with Melissa if Jay talks back to her. And that's the last I heard of that.
Okay. Just so before we
Yeah.
wrap up, with the cash and the pills and everything else that you
I gave him the cash.
Okay, so how much cash was it again?
$10,000.
Altogether.
Altogether.
How many pills?
$1,000 on Friday,
Okay.
or either Thursday or Friday. 1,000. Oh no, that had to have been Friday. So $1,000 on Friday when I came home. $3,000 on Saturday,
Okay.
and then I think that had to have been.
Why not all of it at once either?
He didn't want all of it at once.
He didn't. Why not?
Well, what me and Amelia discussed, we weren't going to give him all the money at once.
Okay.
It's like a contractor.
All right. So altogether, so it's $10,000 cash. How many pills do you think you gave him?
Maybe 50.
Okay. So maybe close to 12. What did we decide? How much
About 11,
per pill?
12,000.
So okay, about let's say $12,000, $13,000
Altogether with the 10 or whatever he gave.
So somebody is going to commit someone else's double murder for $12,000, $13,000.
He said the guys that he knows just need money. That's
Okay.
all he said.
All right, I wanted to make sure on that.
So you had that in depth of a conversation.
And your wife was present for that.
My wife was in
So
the
why
car.
would you say this before? I didn't want her, so she won't get in trouble if I tell you this. Why did you say that?
I don't want her to get in trouble for this.
Well, then tell us the truth. How about that?
That is the truth.
Oh. If you don't want her to get in trouble, okay, if you don't want her to get in trouble, then you need to tell us the truth.
I'm
all right?
telling you the
No,
truth.
you're not. Everything we've talked about, why now? All of a sudden, the gun going off the bridge, all these different things have not been the truth. Now all of a sudden you are telling us the truth. Why is that?
I just want to make things right.
No, I don't think you do.
Josh, I think he shot and killed these people.
Yeah.
I mean, and if that's what happened and you're lying to us, you absolutely are getting your wife, Millie, I don't know if that's what you call it, that's what happened, then you absolutely are throwing her under the bus. She could have set in motion something and she didn't know what you were going to do, and that's what she's claiming. She's claiming that she didn't know that you were going to do that, and so. But yeah, if you don't want, I would tell you this: if your objective is to not get her in trouble, and what both of us truly believe happened, that you went over there and killed both those people, then you need to tell us the truth about that.
No, I didn't.
Okay.
Yeah, but you conspired to have them killed.
Correct. We both.
You're fully admitting to that right now.
Fully admitting that we paid somebody to kill both of them.
What do you think that makes less difference than if you if you told us admitted to killing them?
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, you're basically committing. You're
I'm an accessory to a murder.
Oh,
I understand.
no, it's a little bit more than accessory. I got news for you.
Alright.
So you basically just admitted to committing a murder. So what difference does it make at this point in time if you go ahead and tell us the truth? Do you understand what I'm saying?
That is the truth.
Well, no. Again, I mean, no, it just doesn't make any sense. I mean,
I think Josh is telling us that that's what he's telling us is you've said that, and if
We
we
paid-
believe otherwise, which is what we do, Josh, we have to prove it, and you have to understand that this investigation is far from over, and I think in the end, this is not going to end well for either of you, but I think we can sit here and go back and forth.
just understand again, to sum it up, just for me, I just want to sum this up. So just understand that night, Tuesday night, Tuesday afternoon, you're home with her and she's getting the text messages and phone calls from Cindy, and it's more problems. You guys are having arguments.
Monday.
Yeah, and you guys are having arguments about this again because, both of you are into this, and you're scared and you don't want to get in trouble and she's not letting up, And so the next thing you know, Tuesday, at first you said to us, I got mad, I left, I went, I drove around for a little bit, I turned my phone off because I didn't want to deal with her, but yet I called her 11 o'clock at night. Okay, so that's what we're going to go with. I called her 11 o'clock at night, just, I don't know why, and you said you wanted to go home, but then you drove all the way out to Daytona, you threw your gun off the bridge, and then you came back. First version. Okay. Second version is you were mad. We know you guys were arguing about the gun, and we know you guys were arguing about Cindy. We know. Right? You're nodding your head yes.
Correct.
Okay, so you're arguing about Cindy. And, at some point in time, there's so many disconnects here. It's like, well, okay, we paid this guy Jay to get us to sell drugs for us, to get us more money to give to her, or we paid this guy Jay to go take care of it. One of the two we just don't know. However, either way, it doesn't make a lot of sense for you to go over there that day. You understand what I'm saying? But at first it was like, I don't know where I went, I just drove around. But now we know, after we confronted you with what we knew, oh yeah, I was there. Okay, so that's awful convenient, isn't it? And it's awful convenient that your phone is off when it seems that you really aren't having that much of a problem with Amelia. You wanted to talk to her. You tried to talk to her that night. I think you even sat here and said, I tried to call her to tell her what was going on, I think is what you said when you got back in the car and you were vaping. So, you're nodding your head, yeah. So that's not somebody who's having a problem with somebody who doesn't want to talk. You know what that means? That somebody turns their phone off because they don't want people to know where they're at, okay? Listen, I could watch TV too and know if I turn my phone off, they don't know where I am. So that's very easy to explain, okay? So
You're
your
not
phone is
stupid.
off.
You're
yeah,
not stupid.
No, so your phone is off. And then you go and you went over that Alchemy Lounge and you probably got pissed off thinking about it even more. And then you know what? At some point in time, guess what? You go back over there. And you know what? You can shake your head no way you want, but again, it doesn't make sense why you. So this is what I'm trying to explain to you. You need to sit and think about this, okay? You need to think about it. And this is what people are going to hear, and people are going to go, he's not telling the truth, all right? The fact of the matter is this Jay guy just didn't come out of nowhere. He came out as somebody that was going to try and sell pills for you and get you money. And I think that what that shows is, that I believe. I'm pretty sure you believe that too.
I do.
He took your money, and he probably took your money. He took your money with the guise of he was going to buy drugs for you, to sell the drugs for you and give you the money. He was going to take a little cut. That was a lie. Okay, but again,
We paid him to get rid of these two people.
right, and that's where I come back to. We're right back to square one. Okay, if you paid them to do this, how do you think that makes you? How do you think that makes your hands any less dirty?
It did. I am dirty. I understand that.
You
I
are
completely
just
understand
as
that.
guilty as they are.
Correct.
Okay, so how
And
did
I
you find out
completely
from Jay
understand.
that they actually did what you asked them to do?
I didn't.
So they did this and they didn't tell you.
Did your wife have any conversations with Jay after this?
I have no idea. I
Okay.
asked her, hey, did you talk to Jay? She said, no, I haven't heard from him. So I don't know if she did or if she didn't.
Okay.
So I know for a fact that
What did you tell your brother about the gun? I mean, your sister about the gun, for real.
I told her I threw it away.
Again, how did that conversation come up?
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, I talk to my sisters all the time. It's not the first thing I don't say is, "Hey, how you doing? I threw my gun away."
Okay. My sister was there. My sister talked to Amelia, and I guess Amelia told her that I was going over to go talk to those people.
Mm-hmm.
And then after I didn't answer my phone is when Amelia was, I guess, going crazy. Amelia passed by their apartment at 11 something, but I was already gone.
You drove by the apartment.
Amelia did.
How do you know?
She told me that
When?
that night,
At what time?
11 something.
No. At what time at night did she tell you that she drove past the apartment?
11 something.
When you talked to her on the phone?
No, I didn't talk to her on the phone. The next day.
Okay. All right, keep going.
And my sister was like, oh, how Amelia talked to her. My sister even told my dad, I'm worried about Josh. He's not answering his phone. Amelia and him got into a fight. And then Amelia told me that she drove around the apartment at 11 something. And that's when I called her. Her phone, she turned her phone off.
Mm-hmm.
That's why her calls didn't go through. I texted her, and there was no response. And I called her cousins right after that to say, hey, do you know where Amelia is? Is she with you guys? And they said, no, she's not. After that is when I took my phone off, and that's when I was confronted by that guy when I was vaping in my car.
So at the same time, just so I know, the same time this is happening to you, Amelia's driving around the same apartment complex?
Yeah,
Looking for you.
correct,
In a different car.
correct.
Okay. Did you guys go to Alchemy together?
No. After that, from what I understand, she went and hung out with her cousins.
Well, how did she not see you in the parking lot?
What do you mean?
You said were you there?
Where?
In the parking lot when she drove by?
No, she said 11 something she was driving by, but I was already gone by then.
Okay.
I was at Alchemy at like 11.
And who'd you hear that from? Your sister or from Amelia?
From both.
Oh, okay. And Amelia told your sister this, that she was driving around.
No, my sister was with her.
Oh, okay.
She went with her.
So how did, again, back to the original question, how did this come up in conversation? You told your sister that you threw the gun away.
Because she's like, my sister was like, how Amelia was worried about you. We went around the area. I said I was gone by then. And I just told her I threw my gun away.
Well, but again, how did the gun come up?
She said, what happened to your gun? And I told her, I told my sister that Amelia got mad about the whole situation that happened with me and that kid in the morning with Orange County. And she was upset about me having a gun and me hurting myself again. And I told her I just got rid of the gun. That's all I told her. That's all I told my sister.
I thought you said you told her you threw it over the bridge in Daytona.
Yeah, that's what I told her. I got rid of the gun.
Well, you said that was all you told her, so was it you told her that you got rid of the gun or you threw it over the bridge?
No, I
or what
threw it
did you
over
tell
the
her?
bridge at Daytona. That's what I told my sister.
Rachel has the same last name as you?
Yep.
She lives at your parents' house?
Mm-hmm.
How old is she?
27.
Okay. Why was Amelia worried about you and looking for you?
She didn't know where I was.
Why would she drive by that apartment complex if she didn't know where you were?
I told her, she had an idea that I was going to go there
Why?
because I was trying to make things right.
What did
And
you
asked
tell her?
About the whole because that was a conversation we had.
Tell me about it.
Was, hey, can we go ahead? And I told her,
Mm-hmm.
and
This is after you paid these people to take care of her.
correct.
Why would you be worried about paying her back the money when you already paid these people $10,000 to kill her?
Because to me, it's like one or the other. You either start, and we hate to laugh, but it's like it's been going on all day
Why?
between you and your wife.
Tell me why. Why would you go over there and try and talk to her? Why would you talk to Amelia about paying her back?
Because they're two innocent people. Like,
Okay, did you make any efforts to call Jay and tell him not to do it and we want the money back and we want to go pay her?
no, I would, no.
No, why
You're right.
not? Why?
I don't know.
You don't know? That's the best answer you have? I don't know?
All I know is I went there.
No, it's not all you know. Stop saying that.
Amelia knew exactly why you were there. Amelia knew exactly where to look for you. Pretty funny, don't you think? I mean, the fact of the matter is your phone is off. Why? Because you went there. Because if it was so innocent in the first place, you would have told us about it. But you didn't. So Amelia knew where to go look for you. And there's a reason why they were asking where your gun was. Jesus Christ, even your sister's asking about this. Your own sister. Why the fuck would they ask you where your gun is if you were completely and totally, no? Now your wife is sitting in there telling us that you came home and told her you did this. Your own sister's asking where your gun is. You have a big decision to make. You've already messed up as much as, and then you're going to let her go down. You really want to take her down with you? What do you have to gain? What are you going to get from taking her down with you? What? What is there to gain? Nothing. Nothing. So again, do you think that just by saying that stuff it's going to go away?
No.
Okay. Do you expect anybody to believe anything you're saying when everything that we've talked to you about, everything that we've challenged you on is the only way we've gotten you to tell us anything that's true?
I understand that. But I know that
your whereabouts are unaccounted for. I got news for you. Your whereabouts are unaccounted for at the time of this homicide. You understand that, right?
Yeah.
Your phone is off.
Your gun
is missing. Yeah. Not Jay. And I got news for you. Jay is not going to admit to a murder for you.
Josh, I'll give you even more common sense that just occurred to me. Sitting around, what kind of neighborhood do you think that was, having been there for a few hours? What kind of neighborhood is it?
I don't know, not the best, I guess.
Yeah, it's a rough neighborhood. You agree with that?
Yeah.
No one kicked in this lady's door. Is she going to open the door to Jay Persad or some 6'5" black guy in the middle of the night? Or is she going to open the door, oh, here's that guy again?
But I never went back there.
Yeah, you did.
He's absolutely right.
Yeah, I mean, think about that for a second. She's not going to open the door in that neighborhood for someone that she doesn't know. Like you said, you were having a nice conversation with them. You maybe even left it on good terms as far as, I don't know, maybe it didn't leave it on good terms. But when you went back and knocked on the door, they would have had no trouble. Okay, here's a guy to talk. She would have opened the door for you. She wouldn't have opened the door for these guys. And like you said, you were gonna take so many people down with you sticking to that story. Okay, just tell us the truth, because the thing I'll tell you, I don't know what's gonna happen down the road. I don't know what, but I can tell you right now, the people that are gonna determine that, they want to see that you were honest about what happened, that you showed remorse. Right now they'll look at a guy who tried to take 2 other people down with him, including his wife. And really do irreparable harm to an innocent 7-year-old.
That's not my goal.
Okay.
That's not my goal.
Tell us the truth about what happened.
The truth is, I went there, I talked to them, I got confronted by that guy in my car that night. I left, went to Alchemy, went to Daytona, came back to our house at between 5:30, 6:30, somewhere around there.
Okay.
Her mom was home, and then.
Josh, will you at least concede in this conversation, again, not being a stupid person, that this looks really bad for you?
It does, and I understand.
Because you're at the scene.
I know.
You have a gun that you claim that you say was stolen from you. Okay, you are unaccounted for. You have your phone off. Okay, all of these things add up. You have an absolute motive too to have these people killed. All those things add up to a circumstantial case for first-degree murder. And your answer to it is, this is her. She's driving this boat.
She is.
Okay.
I hate to say it, but she is.
All right. Well, like I said, we got some things to do to
I want to ask you
either
this.
prove or disprove you here.
Why didn't that guy just carjack you?
He said he was watching, so I
I don't
assumed.
give a shit what he said about watching you. What I'm saying is, if I'm the guy that's robbing you, and I got a gun to your head, but am I going to let you put your hand anywhere near a gun? Why not just say, get out of the car? Take the car.
I don't know.
So all he did, of the goodness of his heart, was just take your gun from you.
Take my gun.
What about your wallet?
He said.
What about money?
He said. That's what I'm saying. He said, "You know why I'm here. I've been watching you. Give me your piece," and that was it.
So you assume that to mean something to do with Jay.
Correct.
So again, Jay had this money from 4 days before, 4 or 5 days before. Nothing happened. Nothing happened yet.
Friday, Saturday.
Right.
or
Yet
something.
when you go there, he just happens to be there, and there just happened to.
He said they've been watching.
They never mentioned that apartment.
What was it?
The guy that took your gun, he never mentioned that apartment.
He said, "I'm here. I've been watching. I know why you're here." When I left at 11 o'clock, the door was wide open
Mm-hmm.
on their apartment.
That's fine.
Josh, if you were a hitman, what time of the night would you kill somebody?
I don't know.
Would you do it? Would you do it like in maybe like 3 o'clock in the morning? When do you think there would be the least amount of witnesses around?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Again, I just come back to. I think I'm gonna try this. I just come back to. Again, like we said, one way or another, you got a lot to deal with. But I mean, are you a selfish person? Do you ever think of yourself as a selfish person?
No.
Okay. So, your story just doesn't make any sense, and for you again to take Amelia down, I guess I'm kind of at this point.
And I'm not
saying-
being selfish. My thing is, we've been together for 7 years,
Mhm.
and I've done the world and back with this girl regarding her son,
Mhm.
herself, with her baby daddy problems, and
She says you're abusive, mentally and physically. I mean, that's the picture she's painting of you, Josh. I hate
I'm not.
to burst that bubble for you, but we asked her about that, and she used as an excuse for some of the things that went on. She said that you are abusive. You threatened to kill her entire family if she talked about this. So that's the picture that she's painting of you.
And that's not me. I mean, that blows my mind.
You know,
That blows my.
both of what you have said today blows my mind.
That blows my mind.
Mm.
But this doesn't look good for you, Josh. But we're going to do our jobs, and just know that.
And I want you guys to.
And that could end up with you going to jail for murder, because again, there's a lot of things here. I'm not a big believer in coincidences. Neither one of us are, But you think about all those things that you got going against you at this point in this case, that you're there, that you have a gun, that it's got missing, you're unaccounted for, you absolutely have a motive. You've already tried to make some half-assed attempt to have these people killed or to regenerate some more money. I mean, there's just a lot of problems. A lot of problems. So we'll just have to see how it pans out. Is there going to be anything on your phone about this case, about this murder, about any chatter about what went on or about paying people?
No.
Okay.
On Snapchat, the only thing you'll see was from Jay. Oh, I need $9,000 more, something like that.
Okay.
And I know Amelia's phone for
But
sure.
it's not. It's going to be a generic. I need nine. It's not going to be like I need $9,000 more to kill these people.
Yeah.
Is that what he said in the Snapchat, or just
No,
said he needs
No,
$9,000?
I think it was I need $9,000 more, something like
Okay,
that.
but he didn't say specifically what for.
Correct. But I know Amelia's. If you guys look at Amelia's Snapchat,
Yeah.
it should have that there
Okay.
between her and Jay Prasad.
Okay.
And your understanding of that was for killing them,
Correct.
but you went over there to talk to them. All right.
Good enough.
All right. Time's now approximately 6:55 hours.
Maybe we get another
I'm
one.
sorry, 18:55
Okay.
hours, including this interview.
A warm one or something.
Just boil it for you. Yeah, we could probably grab you a warm water.
What time is it now?
It's about 7 o'clock, Josh.
I would never expect her to say that about me. That's crazy.
Surprise ourselves sometimes. Come on, buddy.
Hey, Joshua.
Yep.
Hey, man. Alright, I need you to stand up. Look, I searched you already, right? You have nothing on you?
Yeah, nothing on
Alright, just going through it real fast. I'm gonna search you again.
Yeah, they took everything.
Yeah, I saw your bag on the bag, your stuff on there. Alright, Dave Bears, put your hands behind your back. Alright, not too tight, right?
No, that's alright.
Alright, cool. Alright, make sure I step out in the hallway there. I'm gonna grab the stuff out of here. You alright?
Yeah, my leg.
Let's see your boy. It's probably kind of tight.
Yeah, no, I shot my leg in December.
You shot your leg?
Yeah, I just put my gun away.
What kind of caliber?